guys that can come in and play some good hockey for you. And, Gurbankin was knocking on the door. I think Menton is probably just a casualty of some of the, of the cap implications there too. And they have some younger guys. We saw Steves come in and play some good hockey, and they have some good European prospects on the back end. So the future is bright. But what it does now, it pushes some of these older guys knowing, hey, if you're out of the lineup or you're not playing good, we can call a guy up and that can come and take your job. Whether it's this year, whether it's next year or the year after. So that's good because it's showing that you're restocking. And as much as you want to go and win the Stanley Cup, you need those reinforcements, and you need to have an element of thinking about the future. And the future looks bright with some of these players. And, before Matthews and Marner and Nylander, which prospects were you really excited about over the last, 7, 8, 9 years? And they got probably 4 or 5, which is great. And that's a positive thing to look at.
So let's talk about the Domi, Robertson, and McMahon line. These guys, I mean, if you look at the elements here, if you just broke them down individually as to what they bring to the table, that's a really nice mix on 3 guys, isn't it?
It is. It is. And, Robertson, he was in and out of the lineup. He sat 4 games before coming back in and scoring those goals that he's done. I could see there was a little bit of snake bitten there, right? And, when he was playing with some other guys, he was sort of, forced to be, the horse that goes in and digs the puck out. And that's not necessarily his game, right? He's a guy that comes off the fly that can, shoot the puck and score off the rush. And he's been scoring a lot of goals like that. But I think McMahon coming back and showing that he is an everyday, high-quality National Hockey League player. He is the guy with the legs. He's the guy that goes in and gets dirty and turns pucks over and comes out of the corner and can make a high-level play. So I think he is the key to the line. And he's, just making Max Domi more confident. We know he can dish the puck and make some highlight reel passes, but Craig Berube's talked to him about being a little bit more selfish, shoot the puck a little bit more. And, he's, been shooting the puck and he has a really good scoring touch, as you can tell by his goal against the Dallas Stars. Really great tight hands and tight, and just roofed it on a top goaltender in Jake Ottinger. So they just find a lot of balance and a lot of chemistry before the 3. And regardless of how we got here, this is how we're here now. And I'm sure Berube's happy, even though it's a small sample size. And, I really want to see them now for the next 3-4 games and see if they can, continue this. Because if they do, Toronto's going to be staying near the top of the division.
And if you're looking for rough stuff tonight, it may not happen. Reeves not playing for the Leafs and Greenway not playing for Buffalo.
Yes, I believe Greenway is injured, And, again, this is a game where I don't think you want to wake the Buffalo Sabres out. You want to let them sleep, so you don't need necessarily any, truculence or Reeves running into anybody or falling into the goalie. And that might be waking them up, right? They're sleeping beauties right now, so let them sleep and let them doze off. And that's probably Toronto's game plan for tonight. But again, Reeves, he had a pretty good game last game. I believe he had 5 hits, a shot on net, and he was skating and rocked the glass. He's doing his job, but that was the plan. You have 4 or 5 guys in that bottom 6 that can come in and are interchangeable. And that just creates a competition that's going to make the overall product and play a lot better.
So, Stu, when you're playing a team that's down and out, 11 games without a win, I mean, when you could be chirping, what are you doing? You're just being quiet and just going about your business?
Yeah, I don't think you point to the score clock. Maybe you point to the standings, or you have it hiding.
or do you try a reversal and say, hey, you guys should have won a couple of those games. Like, you're playing well enough to win.
If you want to borrow a couple of our wins, we have a couple to spare here too. But I think you say nothing, right? You say nothing because you don't want any bulletin board material. You don't want them to get fired up over something. So in warm-up especially, you're not crossing the line. You're not chirping. They're very down and out. And, if I'm Buffalo and I've been in this situation, a lot of guys are just looking towards getting to Christmas, saying, hey, you know what? We're going to hit a reset after Christmas. Let's just get to Christmas, find a way to get through. And, if we win, we win. If we lose, too bad, too sad type of thing. So yeah. I think the key to Toronto is a good start, and a better start than they had last week against the Sabres, right? Getting down 2-0 fairly early. So for them, let them sleep. Don't get involved in the extracurriculars. And I'm hearing there's a lot of Leaf fans that are in attendance tonight too. So give them a reason to cheer, and most important, get those 2 points.
Yeah. So a couple of things. Obviously this sort of underlines what kind of trouble the Sabres are in. Their owner flew to Montreal to talk to them, and that's never, that's always a tense situation for players. The other thing is that the head coach today, understanding that the building could be 80% Leafs, said home coach said we have to take the crowd out of the game.
Yeah, that's someone's not going to be here soon. I don't know who it's going to be, but. Maybe the owner came and gave the kiss of death for all we know. But any way you dice it, ownership coming and talking to the group, that's not a positive. That's not a positive. I'm sure he's probably looking around the room to maybe see who in their eyes who the issue is and who's the problem. But
yeah.
There's going to be some changes. And again, you never advocate for everyone losing jobs or getting traded or sent down. But this is the National Hockey League. It's a result-based business, and this is a team for the last 3-4 years have been waiting to get over the hump. And it's not just the players on this roster. Just look at all the talent that they deemed maybe the issues and not part of the solution that have been traded over the last, 3-4 years. And that's a NHL playoff team of players they got rid of. So, I think they've made some ill-advised decisions. They have to live with it, but they have too much talent, too many first overall picks on that roster to be sitting at the bottom of the division at this point of the year. So I get it. There's other teams that are trying to be competitive. But for this Buffalo Sabres team with that talent, they need to be a lot further along in their development than they are.
Well, it's certainly not on the drafting and scouting, that's for sure. I mean, they've done their job. It just, for whatever reason, the player development doesn't seem to work there, or they trade guys before they should, and it backfires on them. One of the stud players is Rasmus Dahlin, and he's back into that. He's missed the last 7 games, so that should boost them.
Yeah, and they got Owen Power, who's another first overall pick, who's a stud as well, and he could get a little bit drifty through some shifts and some periods, but he's a guy that can dominate with his size and his length. So Toronto's not coming into this game just expecting 2 points. They know they're going to have to come and earn it because, Buffalo, they don't have a lot to play for. They want to get out of this slump, so they have to find a way to get these 2 points. So I'm assuming for Buffalo, hey, let's have the exact same start we had against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's now maybe have a little bit more balance and find maybe a bigger solution to that third line who stepped up last game, or let's try to neutralize Tavares and maybe take advantage of the specialty teams battle. So I think they have a game plan. It's not going to be an easy 2 points, but that's why we play the game, and I'm interested to see which way it goes. Is it going to be tight checking, or is it going to be, a 100-meter dash and a 50-yard gym? I'm looking forward to that tonight.
Well, if you go back to that game on Sunday, it was 2-0 before it was 3 minutes old, and somehow the Leafs, they got goals from Domi and Robertson, and then Tavares took over, so they were able to solve it. But it was a really strange start, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a strange start, and if I'm Craig Berube, I'm talking about discipline. You don't want to be taking any early penalties, and that's a good way to break out of your slump or score some early goals. And that's another thing, too. You have, Tage Thompson, who's got that lethal one-timer. You don't want him set up there and just teeing off, so you don't want to be taking 4 or 5 penalties tonight because, again, you don't want to get into the shot-blocking element, and now guys are catching shots off the foot or off the legs or the arms. But, again, you want to just play downhill. Give them a reason to say tonight is not our night. They've been doing that now for the last 11 games, and this is a team that we talked about those 1-goal games. They find ways to lose. They start off good. They have some decent starts, but near the end, they just trail off and they sleep at times. So for Toronto, I think it's that start is very, very key. Keep your foot on the gas, and that's the one area where Toronto needs to develop. It's their killer instinct, and I think they did a good job once they took over that Dallas game. There wasn't really a threat of them coming back into the game. Tonight's no different. Good start, especially the teams battle, and find a way just to have them say, hey, tonight's not our night. Santa's coming and Christmas is coming. We'll see it in the new year.
And a lot at stake for the Leafs, just because they're 6-2 on the road. So they want to correct that. They took a step in that direction against Dallas in their last game, and there's some things here to exploit. I almost hesitate to say it because in the last couple of road games, I've mapped out things to exploit, and it hasn't happened. But the Sabres' goals against is 26th in the league. Power play is 30th. The penalty kill 22nd. So some special teams and maybe some soft goaltending might do the Leafs a favor tonight.
Yeah, I think so. And if I'm Toronto, I'm, getting to those hard areas. And it's a younger team that, they're going to be prone to take some penalties if you're moving your feet and you're pushing the pace. And I think it could be an opportunity for Toronto to, work on their 20th best power play and start getting confidence. That's going to be 2 big contributing factors to success in the playoffs, your power play and playing on the road. So, even though you have home ice advantage right now, right? Yeah. Eventually you might not, depending on who you play down the line. So if I'm Toronto, you got to now do your best to try to turn your weaknesses into averages, not necessarily, strength. It's tough to do that at this point of the year, but improve the power play a little bit, work on having that killer instinct, and just find a way to put teams out of games when you have it and starting on time. So not a lot to really get, over-analyzing or over-critical about these Leafs because they're sitting at first in the division, and in their room right now it's lights. They're focused, but it's like, hey, we're doing a lot more positive than negatives through 32 games.
So goals on the rush, and I look at the Sabres top line, Thompson, Tuch, and Zucker. That's a pretty tough line, isn't it?
Sorry, what line was that?
The Thompson, Tuch, and Zucker for the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, yeah. And Tuch's another power forward that can rip the puck, right? And yeah. Thompson, big guys. And Zucker is more of that spark plug, right? He signed there in the offseason, too, and he's got 21 points. I'm taking a look now, and 8 goals and 21 points this season. And it's a really, really good line. And Thompson, you got to be careful of him and his 16 goals. So it's not easy. It's not easy. Dylan's Cousins, he might be, trying to play his way off the island as, his services are being sought over. And, Paterka, who I believe scored last game as well, too, with Jack Quinn. Like, that's a pretty decent top 6. So it is the National Hockey League. They do have high-quality players, but I think consistency and the attention to detail in the defensive end has been Buffalo's problem this year, too. So they can't turn into a track meet because Tuch and these guys, they can skate and they can hurt you off the fly. They can score off the rush. So I think for Toronto, again, clog the neutral zone, have a good hit free, capitalize on the mistakes that Buffalo's going to make. They make 2 or 3 big ones every single period and get on them early and often. But, they're going through the lineup, not taking them easy because they have some high-quality National Hockey League players that are having, pretty decent seasons despite their record.
Yeah, just a quick thought on playing in front of a guy like Matt Murray. That's got to be somewhat inspirational.
Yes, if I'm there, I'm playing. I have the sign out. Do it for Matt. Do it for Eminem, right? So we're playing a lot of Eminem in the getting hyped up for this game, and not saying there's a lot riding on it, but this is a guy that battled back from injuries, and it could have been a career-threatening injury. That hip surgery as a goaltender is very, very tough. So it's good to see him back.
Okay, we'll step out and line up the opening faceoff for you further. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of...
What's up, Leafs fans? How we doing tonight? The Leafs and the Sabres on a Friday night. Gotta love it. Thank you for being here. Please hit that like button down below. It helps bring more hockey fans here to this awesome community. As well, please share this out on your social media, wherever, out on the hockey boards, however you can help bring more hockey fans here to this awesome community is greatly appreciated. Now let's get back to the hockey. Come on, Leafs. Big game in Buffalo. How many Leafs fans will be at the auditorium in Buffalo? I don't even know what it's called anymore, but it will always be the Odd to me because that was the original stadium. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go.
Rain hot dogs. It's still not as cool as consolidating debts into one easy payment, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Ontario is building up our nursing workforce. Since 2018, nearly 100,000 new nurses have registered to work in Ontario. Last year, we added a record of over 18,000 new nurses with another 30,000 nursing students in school. We're investing millions in new programs that pay for nurses' education and breaking down barriers so they can get to work sooner. Learn more at ontario.ca/yourhealth. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
secondary scoring is becoming a regular thing. The third line getting it done, and it's also happening on the road. What isn't happening is goaltending health. Stolar's gone. He'll be sent to the Marlies, and Matt Murray makes his Leafs and NHL return. He is the question. Will Matt Murray get it done and solidify the Leafs goaltending? Is there another wacky night ahead for the Blue and White in Buffalo? Well, let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Oh, yes, they do. Welcome to Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on a Friday night. The Leafs in Buffalo. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart, the former NHLer, with you. Joe Bowen and Jimmy Ralph standing by. The starting lineup is like this. They've changed it a bit. We talked about this in the other part of the pregame show. Matthews between Marner and Nyes. Nyes back there. Tavares between Nylander and Pacioretty. Domi centering Robertson and McMahon. Kampf, Lorentz, and Holmberg. The fourth line, Reeves is out. The blue line pairings are a little different. Riley Timmins, OEL Tanev, Benoit and McCabe, and Matt Murray is the starter. Stu, what do you make of all that?
Well, it's not like a lottery ticket where you need to now get, up in arms if they mix things around, because that's part of today's National Hockey League where you have to find out exactly what you have with your lineup right now, too. So I'm really excited to see the Domi line, to see if they can continue on the two amazing games that they've had as well. Interesting to see if Auston Matthews, Craig Berube mentioned that he's sort of dealing with something that he's trying to get through and see how he can manage it. I'll be seeing to see how does he get involved on the physicality. Is he going to be playing a little bit hesitant, or is he going to be using his body, getting to those hard areas, and continuing playing half decent since he's been back for injury right now? So 4 lines that have been getting involved, different areas of the game, whether it's scoring, whether it's big penalty kills, whether it's getting in on the forecheck. They're starting to look more like a group and a team as opposed to independent contractors, and that's how you have success in today's National Hockey League.
Yeah, it's the wording on the Matthews thing. He did not skate today. Was they're doing some sort of management on the injury, which has not been disclosed, so we don't know exactly what they're dealing with. But it does raise a question mark or two, doesn't it?
It does, especially in this market. But as long as they continue to get wins, it's going to be minimizing the chatter, right? But if he goes, 3-4 games without a point or a goal, I can see that chatter getting a little bit louder. But I'm just happy the expectation is, well, why isn't he on pace for 69 goals? Like, people don't understand how tough it is to stay on that track consistently. So I think for now, regardless if he's hurt or not, 40 goals is in his sight line, which is pretty decent. But right now for this group, it's not about the goals or the assists or the points. Ultimately, it's winning, and winning when it matters most, and that's in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Tonight's Coach's Comment is powered by your Ontario Honda dealer. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus in the CRV LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. Coach Berube on bringing up goaltender Matt Murray.
Down there, and we thought we'd bring him up here and get him involved here tonight with, the Stolar's injury. Veteran guy that's been around, and, obviously the last couple of years with injuries and things like that with him, but he's back to health, and he's playing well down there, and like I said, veteran guy.
What sort of appreciation do you have for the journey and all the rehab that he's gone through to get back?
Well, dedicated guy, obviously he's won 2 cups and he's done it all, but he still has a lot left in the tank, and he wants to continue playing, so it takes a lot of hard work, but it takes a lot of hard work, and he's already accomplished the ultimate goal a couple times, but he still has a lot of fire inside and wants to, get back to the form he had once.
No Matthews, no Joe Wall?
Just maintenance. They're available.
What do you like about maybe some of the defensive switches you were looking at the morning skate?
Well, I think more than anything, it's, we switched them up the last couple games in game, putting OEL back on left. McCabe played right here before with Benoit. They were a good pair. It's a heavy pair. So it's just moving guys around, just the same as we do up front with the lines at times, mix them up once in a while.
What's your sense of how challenging this has been, Matthews coming back from the injury?
like him.
They say true sports fans spend game day tailgating outside in the cold. I prefer Chuck skating at Chuck's Roadhouse. Every Leafs game, Chuck serves up icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadians for just $4. Big juicy hamburgers for only $9. And half-price wings for apps after 9 p.m. Right about the time tailgaters' cold feet go numb. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
Do you have... Dashing through the field on Channel 88. Catch the Sunday drive. Playoffs on the way.
This is Steve Torrey.
Cheers, insiders and hockey fans from around the world. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Sabres. Where are you watching from? Please let us know in the chat where you are watching the Leafs game here on TSI from. Is it right in downtown Toronto? Are you out in the suburbs? How about out West Ontario, Northern Ontario, out there all over Canada, the rest of the world, here in the United States, like me. Transplant fans all over the USA, England, Europe, Taiwan, all over the world. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting us know where you're watching from in the chat. I will be actually at a kids sports holiday party this evening. So I'll be in the chat as much as possible, avoiding as much human interaction as I possibly can. But gotta be a dad, so we'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight and letting us know where you're watching from. Go Leafs, go.
Jeff, that's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph just settling into our chairs nicely in time for the start of this one. As it's played down into the corner in the Buffalo zone, the puck is knocked free and dragged out into the center ice area by the Sabres, but they can't penetrate the Leaf zone. Played back into Buffalo territory. Along the boards, punched out there by Samuelson. Onto the left wing side, and we're going to get an offside as Nyes rolls over one of the Sabre players right at the blue line.
I think
How's the drive in, Mr. Ralph? Nice day. Nice day for travel.
It never really changes, does it?
You know, McCowan Boulevard is a mess. And just for anybody who might be out there, just to let you know. Sabres snap it in off the boards and send it around on the boards. Cut off there by Jake McCabe. He couldn't get it out as it comes back to the point. A one-timer whistled wide of Matt Murray's cage. Played around back of the net. Sabres trying to get out in front. Benoit takes his man down. Max Domi gets it on the wing. Nice play there by Robertson, and a 3-on-1 as Domi closes with a pass to the right wing side. They score! Bobby McMahon! Talk about a hot line. Max Domi waited and then I almost thought the pass was too far, Jimmy, but from a sharp angle, McMahon opens the scoring.
Boy, and this all starts by Jake McCabe, a little backhand pass from behind his own net that the Leafs gobble up and then take the other way. I also think the one-timer, Joe, is on a rolling puck.
Yeah, it looked like it.
You're right. It looked like Max Domi had waited too long. The defenseman went down to take the pass away, but it got under his stick. Bobby McMahon, bottom right wing circle, snaps it past Pekka Luukkonen, and this game starts much like the Montreal game for the Buffalo Sabres, which is an early goal against.
Nick Robertson's going to get an assist here, and he made a great play. Then here's a chance for the Sabres, and a good save made by goaltender Matt Murray. Puck in the Toronto zone. Robertson made a great play to get the puck free and get it ahead, and Domi ends up making the play that Bobby McMahon finishes on. And for McMahon, that is goal number 8 on the season. Sabres back to the Leaf blue line. Tipped in by McLeod into the left wing corner. Panev took his man down. Leafs play it off the glass and into center ice and force the Sabres back into their own end. Owen Power starting back up. A pass on the left wing, got in over the line. Nylander couldn't come up with it. Panev blocks it into the corners. It comes back into that centering pass, and the Sabres score. Alex Tuck in front of the net. Did I mention this was the Little Shop of Horrors?
A lot of times in this building, the last shot wins between the Leafs and the Buffalo Sabres. Matt Murray stops the first one in tight. And here, they've got numbers everywhere, but nobody takes Alex Tuck, who's between the hash marks. John Tavares is the closest, but 4 Leafs get caught watching the puck. And I don't know what the referees are huddled in front of the penalty box discussing something.
Just 2:34, the time of the goal.
Now, Chris Tanev was clipped with a high stick, it appeared. But I don't know if that was from the follow-through of a pass or whether the high stick came up and should have been a penalty.
The goal is disallowed on the play. There's a double minor. The Buffalo players sucker for high sticking.
Boy, the Little Shop of Horrors has a different script. Lindy Ruff beside himself. The Sabres tie it. The goal's waved off, and it's a double minor. A 4-minute power play for the Leafs.
How?
I mean, it's reviewable anyway. Craig Berube could have asked for it to be reviewed. See, I didn't know whether this was a high stick or a follow-through, but it was Zucker.
Yeah.
Jason Zucker is going to go. But this is similar to the Austin Matthews high stick not that long ago, Joe, where he tried to jump in over the blue line. And I'm trying to think of where that was. I don't believe it was in Dallas.
So
It might have been in Pittsburgh.
Are going to the power play, brought to you by Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Now they're looking at it to see
the time.
If it's a double minor.
No, I think they're looking at it to make sure they reset the time.
Okay.
Because obviously play should have stopped when Buffalo had control of the puck. So they'll add some time back onto the clock.
Well, let's listen
the
in.
Call on the ice is confirmed. Buffalo penalty. Zucker double minor for high sticking prior to the scoring of the goal.
Kelly Sutherland and Jake Brink are the referees. Michel Cormier and Jonathan Deschamps are the linesmen.
Yeah, so obviously what they were looking at was to make sure it wasn't the follow-through of a pass. And what happened was Zucker chipped it past Chris Tanev and then lifted his stick as he tried to jump past him. Stick came up and caught him. Yeah, and I believe, I don't know whether it was Pittsburgh or where it was on the road, that Austin Matthews took a similar penalty.
And Chris Tanev is joining the list of players that have had bad incidents with their schnozzes or their faces in recent nights. Leafs go to a double minor on the power play as Tavares gets waved out.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to. We've known Lindy Ruff a long time. It is hard not to feel for what he's going through.
Draw one by Toronto. It goes to the right wing side to Marner. Marner to the half boards, back to the point, and Riley. One-timer on the near side by Nylander was stopped. Nylander after the loose puck. Chips it along the boards. Matthews got it into the corner. Tavares won't get there in time. And it's launched out and down the ice by the Buffalo defender.
Buffalo 22nd on the penalty kill this season. Leafs have to have a killer instinct.
Riley dropping it back. Nylander, the last man, brings it to the line and in on the right side. Rings the boards with it. It'll find Matthews on the near side. Back of the net and around the boards to trap it there. It comes back to the point to Riley. Riley back in front of the net now for Tavares, and a wrist shot went wiring over top of the goal, and it is played by Buffalo out and down the ice.
3:05 to go in the double minor.
Leafs power play in the last 5 games, 2 of 12. Shot in by Riley. Fed into the left wing corner. Grabbed off by the Sabres, and out and down the ice it'll go. Knies with Pacioretty, Robertson, and Domi over the boards. Ekman-Larsson is out there as well, and brought on by Domi to the line. Played into the corner, Pacioretty. Poked it along the boards, but Knies failed to come up with it. And it's going to be played out into the center ice area with 2:33 left in the double minor. Ekman-Larsson coming through neutral ice. Up on the right side for Max Domi. Stops it up, got it into Pacioretty. Comes in front of the net, and Knies just failed to trap it. Grabbed off by Robertson and back to Ekman-Larsson. Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting it off on the right wing side to Domi. Domi with a pass in front, had it blocked. Gets it back again to Ekman-Larsson. Larsson with a shot. That deflected and just went wide. Domi getting it freed up, but the bad pass by Pacioretty as it hit a skate is easily cleared now by Buffalo, and the first penalty is over.
Sabres could get a huge confidence boost if they can get out of this.
Riley starting back at center, and now Marner with a lead pass that was on goal. No icing, and so played by Matthews around the boards. It'll come back to the point. Shot went wide of the net. Matthews with the rebound in the corner. Drags it out back to the point. It goes to Marner. Marner walks to the right wing side. Dishes it back to Matthews to Riley. Back to Matthews on the left wing boards at the half boards. Down low to Nylander. Nylander works back to the half boards near side. Back to Matthews in the corner. Back to Willie. Nylander into the slot area for Marner to trying to get out in front. Poked it away from him, and the Sabres get it out and down the ice. Large group of Leaf fans, as always, at KeyBank Center. We haven't had a real good wide-angle shot of the building yet to see how many, but there are a lot of empty seats. Now a chance for the Leafs in with a shot, and that deflects off the stick of Nylander and goes into the screen and out of play.
Leafs just one shot on goal so far here in this extended power play. Power play is now dropped down to 20th best in the National Hockey League. Not as high as, what, 16 or 17?
Yeah. I mean, when it started, it was 32nd, right?
Yeah.
It was not good. Face-off won by Toronto. It'll come back to the point with 50 seconds left in the power play. Marner with a shot in front of the net looking for Tavares, and Ekman-Larsson was just able to keep it in. Now Tavares with it to the near side to Willie, and he fired it wide. Marner traps. Back to the point to Ekman-Larsson. Now to Willie again. A pass in front of the net for Tavares doesn't work. Now to Nylander. Closing a pass in front. They score! Matthews set up beautifully by set up beautifully by Nylander. And it is 2-0 Toronto on an enormous break given to the Maple Leafs here.
and very similar to the spot that Bobby McMahon scored from. Bottom of the right wing circle. This was after the Leafs were fortunate to be able to track down the puck and keep it in the Sabres zone. Nylander had a couple of opportunities, missed the net once, and this time, fake shot from the left wing circle and spots Austin Matthews wide open to the right. He puts it onto the stick of Matthews and he snaps it. Glove side on Luukkonen before he can get over. And for Austin Matthews, his third power play goal of the season as the Leafs up 2-0.
Sabres get it in over the line. Thompson dropping it back. Got it in front of the net. That rolled wide of the Toronto goal. Tanev one-handing it along the boards. And it's poked out into the center ice. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is 8-10-3 this season with the Sabres with a 3.0 goals against average and an .896 save percentage. He is 0-3-1 lifetime against the Maple Leafs and a 4.36 goals against average. Former Ontario Hockey League most valuable player in his one season with the Sudbury Wolves. Down into the corner it goes into the Toronto zone. Tripped along the boards by Pontus Holmberg. And then Benoit got it up on the wing, and Domi is out. Max trying to flip it in, had it blocked there partially by Dennis Gilbert. Domi carries down into the corner, diligently sent it in front of the net. Here's a shot then by McMahon that went wide of the goal. Leafs keeping it in. Domi in the corner. Domi getting it back to the point. McCabe into the far side for Robertson. Robertson twists and turns back to the point. Just knocked down there by Jake McCabe. A wrist shot is deflected wide of the net. McMahon out of the corner now with the left wing boards with it. With a shot. That was knocked down. Domi providing the screen. And this line has just been outstanding since put together a couple of games ago. Sabres will get it out at center, and it is launched high into the Toronto end, and that's going to be an icing call. No, it's not. Sorry. McCabe going back to retrieve it. Brought to center ice for Tavares. In on the left wing. Sends it around the boards back of the net. Chipped along by Samuelsson of the Sabres. Trapped over there by Nylander. Puck came in front of the net. Pushed back at center. Now Timmins in a foot race trying to get back to it. But Murray has come out of the goal to play it around the boards, and the Leafs pump it up on the wing and get it out at center. Tavares will get it into the zone, but no further. Nylander on the near boards. Trying to drag it in. A delayed offside in effect. And the Leafs will have to tag up, and the Sabres get it out into the center ice area. Peyton Krebs dropping it back. 11:27 to go in the first, and the Leafs are up 2-0. Long shot goes wide of the Toronto goal. Back of the net, Morgan Riley chases after it in the near corner. It'll get out into the center ice area, and it's been deflected and gone out of play. And so a face-off will come in neutral ice, with the Leafs getting goals from Bobby McMahon, and then on the power play, Austin Matthews. 2-0 in favor of Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From Brad Summer to high-level hip-hop beef.
They not like us. They not like us. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration.
Relive the songs and stories that define 2024 on the SiriusXM app with exclusive countdowns of the year's best tracks from your favorite channels.
Hey, Leafs fans, hockey fans, insiders, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Sabres on a Friday night. Now, we're doing something really special here. You know that we have a partnership with SickKids Hospital, and it's been too long since the MLB playoffs, since that Create 100K had ended at like the end of November. So we're going to kick something back up. I got a great idea today when I saw Joe Bowen's post about the college football game tonight, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He's a big fan, and I just wanted to make all of the viewers happy who sent me an email or a direct message or texted in the chat during the game. Are you doing the college football playoffs? We're doing it, and we need to come up with a name for our campaign. I kind of like Football Frenzy. SickKids Campaign Football Frenzy. I like it. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Now let's go Leafs. Let's get some goals out there and let's get the W in Buffalo tonight.
7 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Well, the line scored 3 goals in Dallas. Max Domi picked up a goal in the win against Buffalo at home, and now they're on the board here along with Matthews.
Well, and of course, it all started at home against Buffalo last Sunday.
Kept in by Matthews, a bouncing shot in, and Luukkonen just got his left pad in front of that. Sabres get it to the line and out, and it's knocked high in the air and then shot into the Toronto zone. Bounces into the left wing corner. Zucker after it there, trying to get it back to the point, and he has. Wrist shot coming. That is blocked. Buffalo's had one shot on goal, and one of the Leafs is down and hurt.
Ekman Larsson. I think he took that in the hand.
Well, I don't know. Well, he's kind of doubled over a little bit where.
Boy, he's going right to the Leaf room.
Right to the room, yeah, and he's wobbling.
Trying to watch it again. It was Rasmus Dahlin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about hand high.
Hand high and
midsection.
Start of the midsection, lower extremities.
Rasmus Dahlin back in the lineup for the Buffalo Sabres. He missed the last 7 games with an injury. I mean, the shots are just 3-1. The Leafs are holding a 2-0 lead, 10:41 to go in the opening period.
Draw one by Buffalo, back at the blue line. Clifton trying to get it into the corner, then a shot from an angle. Couple of saves made there by, another save made there by Murray as he went down to get the pad on it. A flurry here by Buffalo. Tucked down into the corner and back to the point. Sabres keeping it in. Near side for Clifton. To his defense partner, holding, get it back to Clifton. Clifton shot in traffic, went wide of the net. And then Benoit couldn't tip the puck to get it freed up. Sabres keeping it in and have good pressure going here against the Leafs. Cousins plays it around back of the net. Good hit there against the Leaf defenseman, McCabe. It comes back to the point. Kept alive by Buffalo. Cousins again into the corner. Now a centering pass. Good blocker save made. Trying to get to the puck, and the Leafs are just going to get rid of it. And down the ice it'll go. Will it be enough for icing? No, it won't. Huge break there for Toronto. They had a tired group that was having difficulty defending. Sabres bring it back in over the line on the left wing side. A centering pass knocked away by Morgan Riley. Grabbed off on the far side by Owen Power. He works back to the blue line on his backhand, and a weak backhand went well wide. McMahon can't get it out on the far boards. Sabres play it up on the wing, pushed up to the point, but kept alive by Buffalo. They've come on with a couple of real good shifts here as Max Domi is able to just tomahawk it out into neutral ice. Now Domi runs into a man and the puck comes free, but it is gobbled up by Malston, who gets in over the line for Buffalo. Nick Robertson got it back and fed it ahead, and McMahon gets it ahead, but out of the reach of Domi, and it'll be sent right back in again by the Buffalo forwards. Chipped along the boards for Krebs. Leafs come away with it. Back of the net is Connor Timmins to Riley. Return to Timmins. Timmins will bank it up on the right wing to get it out. Riley carries to center and shoots it in. Leafs 2, Sabres no score. 8:36 to go first period. Moving along quite nicely. Krebs to the line and in. Fed into the corner, and a centering pass by Kulich was deflected off his stick back of the net. Pacioretty battles in the corner in the Leaf zone with the puck up against the boards in his skates. Finally dug out there by Zach Benson and played back of the Toronto goal by the Buffalo forward. The Leafs have it now, and with changes coming, Nylander wheels out from behind his own goal. Willie gets to center. Nylander in on the right side. Thought about sending it around the boards, and then when he did, it ends up on the stick of Benoit. Benoit couldn't get it in front, but now Benoit is trapped, and Tag Thompson is across the line. 3-on-3 rush here for Buffalo. Good play by Marner to break up the rush. And now Matthews turns back and gives it to Marner, who starts out of his own end. Pass up on the left wing, and it'll be Timmins flipping it into the offensive zone. Luukkonen plays into the corner, and the Sabres Now having difficulties with it, with Matthews thinking about coming out in front, and then he faked that and tried to go around and tuck it in, but it was blocked. Now a centering pass by Marner looking for Nyes, and that didn't connect. And now we've got a fight over on the far side with Morgan Riley and Tag Thompson. What started this?
Now, was it Thompson that administered the hit on Austin Matthews? That might have been it. And I don't know how many career fights Tage Thompson might be in.
Well, never mind that. How many's Morgan Riley been in?
That was the second part that I was going to say. Oh, it was a later hit. We saw the one on the boards. There was a later hit. Morgan Riley could end up getting the instigator here.
Well, we'll figure it out when we come back. Leafs with a 2-0 lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer. Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
If you ever find yourself needing collision repair, CarStar is here to help make accidents unhappen. Any make, any model. That said, there are some accidents CarStar can't make unhappen, such as accidentally waking a hibernating bear, accidentally biting into a raw habanero pepper, accidentally throwing a frisbee at a beehive. CarStar, Canada's trusted collision repair expert, is here to make car accidents unhappen. For a location near you, visit carstar.ca.
Maple Leafs will be a man short. Morgan Riley gets the minor for roughing after going after Tag Thompson, and the penalty kill is brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Pretty good hit by Thompson.
Yeah,
kind of interesting. The two boys from Arizona colliding. Morgan Riley took exception.
Yeah, Thompson's been in a number of fights in his career. Most recently was Kiefer Sherwood when Sherwood with the Nashville Predators. He's also fought Max Pacioretty, and Pacioretty was with the Washington Capitals.
All right.
Well, it looks like, yeah.
Okay, so they're giving Thompson and Riley 5 each for fighting, and then Riley's getting the extra penalty, and Nick Robertson is serving it. All right.
Now, see, if you want to get this out of the game.
Yes. Shot from the point. That was blocked. Matthews is able to spear it out in center ice.
It's an instigator.
Yeah.
Morgan Riley instigated the fight.
Yes.
But they hide it with a roughing penalty, not to give him 10.
Drop pass. Out come the Sabres to the line and in on the right side. Drop back there nicely by Benson. It comes into the slot area. Coming out in front, knocked away. Nyes couldn't poke it free. Comes back on the right wing side. Peterka into the corner. Gets it returned on the half boards. Back to the point. Peterka goes cross ice far side. Dish back by Quinn. And a shot is into the glove. And now we've got some more shoving in front of the goal.
This time it was Jake McCabe rifled his man to the ice. After Matt Murray had made the stop.
And
then McCabe was smart. Just kept his hands down and said, you want to even things up, take a shot. But was it Benson? Yeah, well, it wasn't. Benson went down rather easily in Toronto and was able to draw a penalty, and he does the same thing here.
And then a gathering in behind the Toronto goal. No penalties assessed on the play, and 1:20 to go on the power play for Buffalo with 6:40 to play in the period.
Buffalo power play 30th in the NHL, just 13 for 94 coming into this.
And in their exactly. I mean, their last 13 games, it's been just horrific. Here's the Sabres again with it on the left wing with a pass to the right wing side. Trying to get to it was Cousins. Back of the net. Pass intercepted by the Leafs. Marner's going to just play it off the far boards and get it out and down the ice.
You're right. The last 13 games, just 2 for 35.
Brought on now by the Sabres as they drop it back. And coming out with it is Alex Tuch. Tuch gets it in on the right side for Zucker. Zucker playing it around back of the net. In front of the net was Kulich, but they couldn't get him the puck. Tucker gets it back to the point. Kept alive there by Rasmus Dahlin. A shot to the far side. Knocked away. Into the corner it goes for Tanev. Tanev plays it in front. And quickly it is sent out and down the ice by the Leaf penalty killers. With 5:40 to go in the period and now 19 seconds left in the penalty. Luukkonen playing it around the boards on the wing. And Bowen Byram trying to get it out as the pass goes off his skate and forces Tuch back into his own zone. Alex Tuch working to the line and in on the left side. Pass off a skate, deflects out in center, and the penalty is over. Robertson gets back onto the ice and heads to the bench as it is sent into the Toronto zone by the Sabres forwards. Tavares turns in front of his own goal, drops it off for Benoit. Up on the right wing side for the Leafs, and it is sped in by Timmins. Down into the corner it goes, and the Sabres get it out at center. Brought to the line and in on the right side. Bryson couldn't get a chance. It's deflected high and goes into the corner. Sabres around back of the net. That'll be played out into the center ice area. They'll shoot it right back in again. Sam Lafferty going to the bench. Sabres got it to the line and in. The Leafs then flipping it to the near boards. Robertson back to the point and a shot towards the net that Domi couldn't get his stick on as he was heading there. Puck along the wall comes to the line but not out. Kept in by Nick Robertson. On the wing for Bobby McMahon. McMahon tried to play it in back of the net where Domi was situated, but it was picked off. Sabres sending it high, and a glove pass will be whistled down as Robertson accepts the feed from his defenseman's glove, and play is halted. It is a 2-0 Toronto lead, and you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Tiger is back! Tiger Woods is returning to the golf course with his son Charlie in the PNC Championship.
The Eagle has landed! A big fist pump for the big Tiger!
Hear all the coverage right now on PGA Tour Radio.
His golf swing, in my opinion, is as good as it's ever been. I've never seen it cleaner. I've never seen it easier on his body, ever.
Your home for golf is PGA Tour Radio. Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your...
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's watching the hockey game. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I'm TSI Mike. Where the hell did I go? There I am. Finally found the webcam button. How come you haven't hit that subscribe button yet? Are you a Leafs fan? Are you a hockey fan? And you're hanging out with us, chatting it up, cheering on the Buds? How come you haven't hit that subscribe button yet? Oh, wait, you have. Appreciate it. Everybody that's hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell, thank you. I appreciate you joining this awesome community of Toronto sports fans. Now let's get back to the hockey. Come on, Buds. Let's get the victory tonight against the Sabres. We got to get this one done. Let's keep it rolling.
Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The Leafs 2, the Sabres no score.
Coming into this game, the Leafs had only outscored Buffalo by 4 goals. But it's been the defensive side that has killed the Sabres, especially of late.
Leafs have won No, I had the wrong step there. I was looking at trying to win for the second time on the road in succession when they have not been able to do so, as they have tried it 5 different times, but to no avail. Sabres get it out at center and bring it in on the left wing with a pass on the right side for Zucker, and he drills it into the chest of Matt Murray, who will cover up on it and stop play and bring a face-off in the Toronto zone. The Leafs are 6-6-2 on the road this year, so 5 times they have had an opportunity to win 2 in a row and haven't been able to do it.
Kind of surprising considering this group set a franchise record with 24 wins last year. 23 the year before.
Look at Matt Murray's pad. His right pad doesn't even look like it's attached to the skate.
No, it's not. Like it's.
Isn't that strange?
Kind of just sitting off to the side.
Play it around back of the net and overskated. The puck was McCabe. Got it back to Timmins, who got it up on the wing. And now the Sabres keep it in with a pass and a one-timer. And it is snapped wide of the goal and caroms all the way down into Buffalo territory. Played off the boards and out at center. Leafs go back for it. Loren's turn. Lorenz launching it high into the zone. Philip Myers and Ryan Reeves are the scratches for the Maple Leafs this evening, as Benoit goes back into his own zone.
Talking about Matt Murray's pads. Mine used to be like that until my dad had come into the dressing room and fixed them for me.
Them up?
Yeah.
Did you have to lie down on your stomach when you had that done?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Played out at center ice, waiting for teammates to get onside. Pacioretty and sending them in. It'll pushed out at center for Buffalo. Into the slot area now, trying to get a shot away was Sam Lafferty. That was blocked. It comes in front. Oh, and a great chance for Byram. And that was stopped by Murray. Leafs get it out at center for Tavares. 1-on-3. Can't get around the defense. Byram is able to play it around back of the goal. Rasmus Dahlin will play it out into the center ice area. Dahlin just getting back from injury. Lafferty into the lineup. Didn't play against the Maple Leafs. Didn't dress, in fact, against the Maple Leafs the other night. McCabe on the left wing for Marner. Dropping it back. Long shot. Kicked away there by Luukkonen. And the Sabres will push it up on the wing and get it out at center. A pass onto the right wing side for Coolidge. He is stopped at the blue line. A delayed offside allows the Leafs to gain possession of the puck. And now here is Tanev looking to make a pass. Swings it back to his defenseman. A bank pass by McCabe. Got to Nyes. Nyes on the right side for Marner, but it was bouncing and he couldn't control it. Now he tries to find Nyes, but it was intercepted by the Sabres, then stolen back by Matthews momentarily. Sabres back in their own zone, and there's Matthews again, stealing it away from McLeod. But the Sabres finally get a hold of it, and Zucker will send it down into the Toronto zone. Zucker taken out of the play. Ekman-Larsson playing it around the boards. Good to see him back as the Leafs get it to center and across the line with less than a minute to go. Bobby McMahon, one of the goal scorers, into the corner. McMahon trying to one-hand it out in front, and he did. And Domi got a quick shot away, and Luukkonen was able to snare that and hang on for a face-off in Buffalo territory.
Boy, that line has produced 13 points in the last, 2 games in one period. And this time, Bobby McMahon had the puck knocked off his stick right onto the tape of Max Domi. And from the left, Ashmark in the Buffalo zone let it go right away, but Luukkonen makes the stop.
2 goals and 4 points for Max Domi in the last 2 games.
He's got a good shot. I think that's why there are people that are saying he's got to use it more.
Robertson back at the net with McMahon. They battle for it. Robertson knocked down. McMahon continues to battle. It comes to the side of the goal. Robertson couldn't dig it out in front. Domi was waiting out there. Now McMahon up against the boards, comes out with it to Robertson, to the point, and a shot by McCabe has stopped the rebound. Oh, and it just trickled over the stick of McMahon, or he was in position A. Robertson drives from the half boards, and that went wide with 15 seconds left in the period now. Played to the Toronto blue line. Tanev goes back behind his net, leaves it for McCabe with 8 seconds left. One of the Sabres went flying through the crease. Bit of a Superman slide there on his own as the horn goes at the KeyBank Center to end period number 1. The Leafs catch a huge break after leading 1-0. It appeared that the game was tied, but the goal is dismissed. Double minor for high sticking assist, and the Leafs add to the total with a power play goal, 2-0.
And I'm sure if you're Matt Murray, you're thinking, boy, if it was like this before I left, I might have played hurt for a year, because he got all the breaks. And Matt Murray, by the way, made 2 or 3 difficult stops that kept the Leafs up 2-0.
9-7, the shots favor Buffalo in the first 20 minutes. Stepping aside for Anthony Stewart and Jim Taddy. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hey everybody, it's Conan O'Brien, and guess what? I've got my own channel, Conan O'Brien Radio, here on SiriusXM. Tune in to channel 104 for exclusive interviews with your favorite celebrities, hilarious moments from all my TV shows, showcasing some of the most absurd and hilarious moments from my decades on television, and episodes from Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend podcast and Andy Richter's weekly call-in show. Don't miss out. Conan O'Brien Radio, channel 104, or anytime on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild. Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis.
They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy Mackinac! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Minor in over the line, looking for Tavares.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick. Scores!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Avalanche, seriously, as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers, their goaltending's bad.
Under Review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. We make that next step. How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Molson Canadian Leafs hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Back to the point to Ekman-Larsson. Now to Willie again. A pass in front of the net for Tavares doesn't work. Now to Nylander. Closing a pass in front. They score! Matthews set up beautifully by set up beautifully by Nylander. And it is 2-0 Toronto on an enormous break given to the Maple Leafs here.
2-0 for the Leafs over the Buffalo Sabres after 20 minutes of play. TSN After 20 is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical, full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. And Stu, the Leafs got a break or two, but nonetheless, we're full value for the 2-0 lead at this point.
Yes, it was a perfect road period if there was anything such as, and it started with the early goal, and the third line now continues to operate at a really, really high level. Again, I believe now that's 13 points in the last 7 periods for the three of them too, and great job by Max Domi there. Just when I was about to yell shoot, he threads the needle to a backdoor pass there for McMahon, scoring, I believe it was his 8th goal of the season, and they got really, really lucky there. We thought the Buffalo Sabres tied it a couple seconds later, but it was deemed a high stick by Jason Zucker in a 4-minute power play. So just luck was on their side, and Nylander too at the end of the power play, which seemed like it wasn't generating too much on the offensive side too. He comes down the pipe there and feeds a nice backdoor sauce pass to Austin Matthews. So pretty good job, and not really that big of a side story is Matt Murray playing great. 9 saves. He had a couple big saves early and often, and he seems like he's dialed in and hasn't missed a beat for his first game in over a year.
Yeah, I don't want to read too much into this, but on the first goal, it starts in the Leaf zone, and I don't know if it was Matt Murray. Somebody was yelling about moving the puck, and they did, and went down and scored. So, I wish we were in the building to know who that was, but it may have been Matt Murray.
Yeah, I think so. And again, he's a veteran guy, and it's funny. He's only 30 years old. You think he's 35. The way that he's battled adversity, it seems like for 4 or 5 years. So, he's got a lot to play for too. But a veteran move, if that was him, I'm still looking to see if it was him. I'm checking social media, but that's a big part of it. When you have a goaltender that knows what to do, knows how to be vocal, knows how to generate and tell what the guys to do, command what for the corps to do in your back pocket.
Now, I will say this, and it's only after 20 minutes, so there's time for this to turn around. But after that double minor and the Sabres goal getting canceled, they seemed to lose some wind, didn't they?
Yeah, they were like, what else is going to happen? Is the scoreboard going to malfunction? And they're a team that's just a little bit helpless right now. They just almost seem like they're just dreary out there, nothing really generating. And, I'm not a big fan of those jerseys, but that's just probably my own personal opinion. But they just seem like they're waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for a big move, whether it's a trade or a firing. But, you have to find your motivations in the NHL, whether it's to play for another contract, play your way off the island, play to save your career in the NHL, or your job as executive. So 11 straight losses. They're primed for 12 after 20 minutes. It's just, what are they waiting for? The time is now, and I just expected a little bit more pushback. And maybe you could say, hey, Tage Thompson stepping up and fighting Morgan Riley, that could spark them, but they didn't have anything much on that power play as well. So, I feel sorry for Buffalo because it's a hard-working city. They have an amazing building, amazing fan base, and they cheer when the other team is winning, but there's not much to cheer for them on the Buffalo side.
Well, their power play is starting. It's 30th in the league, and you can't get much lower than that, although it is possible. Here's what I wanted to talk about. The Matthews, the hit by Thompson on Matthews. You don't want to read into things, but, didn't skate today to manage it. I mean, it almost makes you think that you wish you knew what the injury was so you could actually process what you're watching, but we don't.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate, but I've had that look on my face, and I've had that little bit of timidness in my game. And I think before that hit, he was on the other side, I believe, by the hash mark, and he got bumped, and he didn't really have any fight to fight his way through the check. So it's something seems like it's bothering him. I don't really want to speculate, but I've had something similar to that where just you can't find a way to get it right. It's very, very nagging, and the only way for it to fix is for time off the ice. But again, he's finding a way to fight through it. A beautiful goal. We know he can release that puck very, very good, but he's just playing with that little timidness, like he's just worried, like he's worried about getting bumped, and he's not fighting and skating through those checks like he has when he's been so dominant over the past few years.
And almost judging by Morgan Riley's reaction, everybody else seems to know what it is on the team or to look out for it.
Yeah, that's like when someone hits my brother. Nobody touches my brother but me, and he stood up for him, but he understands, like, hey, in that moment, I'm going to step up. You know, Ryan Reeves is out of the lineup, and great job by him for stepping up. He's not known for fighting, but this is the makings of a team that's, you know, ready to make that next step and winning more than one round, because they're coming together. In years past, when that hit happens, guys are looking for their wallet. They're looking for everything else but a confrontation. So the fact that he stepped up and decided to drop the gloves against a guy that's fairly, very big, and he did pretty well, you know, that's motivating to the team, the group, and I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that adds to more momentum going into the second period.
Okay, let's play our favorite game, and that is, who was the best Leaf in that period?
I'm going to go Matt Murray. I'm going to throw him a bit of a bone there. 9 saves. He made a couple big ones early in that first period. His first shot was like a big save, and no one would fault him if that went in. I'm going to go with Matt Murray. Close second, I will go with Max Domi.
Yeah, he's
2 shots on net. Yeah, 2 shots on net. He's got an assist, 4:51 in ice time. He's very noticeable tonight, hopping his step.
So let's have some controversy. The third line, or is it?
Ooh, maybe they're moving up. We'll see.
Well,
but
you're going to put 13 points on the board in what, 7 periods? Is that the third line?
No, but part of it is their matchups too. And McMahon, I think, is playing down the lineup. Domi's a natural second liner as well too. And Nick Robertson seems like he has a new lease on life, where he's, you know, controlling the puck, globetrotting it up, making some, you know, highlight reel passes. So part of it's the matchup, but a lot of those guys are very, very talented. And Craig Berube, I'm sure, is ecstatic that this looks like it's not just a one and done thing. It's really consistent now.
Yeah, it looks good. 2-0 for the Leafs over the Buffalo Sabres after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew. Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. District license 12616.
A Tim's Donut and Coffee is the original collab. And right now in Toronto, any classic donut is $1 when you buy any size original or dark roast coffee. Get a deal on the iconic duo with the Tim's Dollar Donut. Plus tax at participating restaurants in Toronto for limited time. Terms apply. See app for details.
Sleep Country presents Holidays at Chris's house. Emily unwraps the pony she wanted. And here's Chris opening holiday socks again. Got gifts like Chris? Then Sleep Country's Boxing Week deals are for you. Get hot prices on headboards starting at $249. Plus, save the tax on everything. Speak to a sleep expert for details. Get the gift you really wanted. Great sleep during the Boxing Week event at Sleep Country. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Brian Hayes, and I've got to tell you why Planet Fitness works for me, and I know it will work for you. First and foremost, it's safe, clean, and a breeze to get in and out of because I use the Planet Fitness mobile app. And with most gyms being open 24/7 and the crowd meter feature on the app, I can work out on my schedule, not the gym schedule. So sign up today at planetfitness.ca or pop into any of the dozens of locations throughout the GTA and get back in the gym at Planet Fitness.
Dash for deals at PetSmart. Now through December 24th, save $10 now and $10 later on select
select large dog food bags. Save $8 now and $8 later on select large cat food bags. Plus, save 50% on holiday products. See stores or PetSmart.ca for complete details.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Out of town, Montreal 2, Detroit 2. After 20 minutes of play, into the first period, the Blues 1-0 over the Panthers. Wow. End of the first period as well, Capitals 1-0 over the Hurricanes. Later on tonight at, starting in mere minutes, Rangers at Dallas against the Stars, Utah and Minnesota against the Wild, and later on tonight, the Avs in Anaheim against the Ducks. In our game, it is 2-0 for the Leafs over the Buffalo Sabres after 20 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy. The second period is next on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
What the Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this NFL season.
The Saints and Packers wrap up Week 16 of the NFL season on Monday Night Football. The Packers open as a massive 14-point favorite with a total of 42. Can the Saints pull off a massive upset, or will the Packers keep rolling? Make sure you tune into Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio, channel 159 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, a hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild. Insiders,
The revenues and the big business.
and the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM.
Hear every team and your hometown call.
NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now, with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Ward Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Second period face-off will be brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan, Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca. You really have to like the story of Matt Murray. Obviously, very successful while he was in Pittsburgh, but a lot of injuries, and then that unfortunate happenstance where he got kind of slew-footed from behind, went down on his back and on his hip. He had to have bilateral hip surgery.
Yeah, that
really
was
a whole year wasted.
April 2nd, 2023, his last appearance in the National Hockey League. It was Lucas Raymond trying to cut in front of the net. Harmless looking play, lost an edge, fell to Matt Murray with him. Murray in that game and played 16 minutes and 16 seconds.
And a lot of the time last year spent on rehab, obviously, but he was up in the press box. And a delightful young man to talk to. But here's a guy that, he could have just said, you know what, enough's enough.
I've had a good run.
I've had a good run. But, he just battled through it. He went to rehab, got himself back, played well, although abbreviatedly in the American Hockey League. Shutout the last time he played in the AHL as they get an icing to start the period against Wilkes-Barre, the Penguins farm team. I think he had 29 shots, if I'm not mistaken. And so the decision was, let's bring a guy up that this isn't going to overwhelm, right? Been there, done that, had some success.
I'm sure the other argument is if Hildeby's part of your future, is it an opportunity to play him more? He played last Sunday when the Leafs beat the Sabres on home ice.
Cleared down into the Buffalo zone. They defend the goal to our right to start this second period. And they get the puck out on the near boards as Tag Thompson carries to the line and in. Sifts it off on the right wing side for Bowen Byram. His shot went wide of the net. Near corner, Zucker tried to center. It goes around the boards to Byram once more. Byram works the blue line to his defense partner now, and here's Dahlin working down into the corner. Rasmus Dahlin on the wing, a pass in front of the net, intercepted, and now Nylander trying to break. Got it ahead for Tavares, but he couldn't get around the back checking of Zucker. Zucker back in for Tuck. In on the right side, a shot. That was blocked. Tuck in the middle. Got the shot away. A pass in front of the goal is knocked away. Nylander can't get to it. Comes to the line and unable to keep it in was Samuelsson to stop play and bring a face-off into the neutral zone.
Boy, at least dodged a bullet there. 3-on-2 one way. John Tavares had it knocked off his stick. So a 3-on-2 back the other way, and the Sabres unable to cash in on it. John Tavares shaking his head over on the Leaf bench. But the super line of Nylander, Matthews, and Mitch Marner seems to have come to an end as we see Matthew Nyes back out with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner.
And your thoughts?
Well, they were -2 in the first, 24 minutes in Dallas?
Yeah, no. Oh, you're going to use statistics to back up your argument. Oh, sure.
Well, you'd rather me tell you what the eye test said?
No. Left wing side, Benson. He sends it in, and a shot went whistling wide of the Leaf goal. Nyes backhands off the glass to center ice.
Craig Berube had said, I thought they were all off.
Yes.
And not signaling that it was one over the other, but just as a group, none of them had very good line.
Here's a 2-on-1 for the Leafs now with Nick Robertson in. He scores! 5-home goal on Luukkonen. And the Leafs have a 3-0 lead. And this line is on fire.
And if you're wondering why they weren't put together sooner, well, Nick Robertson had been a healthy scratch, but McMahon and Domi were both out with injuries. So once they all become available, Craig Berube had a hunch, and the third line has been putting up points that you'd be thrilled with the first line to do. Is Nick Robertson again sniped 1-5 hole on Jake Ottinger in Dallas, and this time coming off the right wing. And you could see it from our angle, Joe. There was no room except that little space between the pads. And because Robertson is so good at getting the shot off without telegraphing it, he just fired it in before Luukkonen could react.
And Riley will get the lone assist, I believe, as it is tripped out into the center ice area. Back come the Sabres in over the line. They score! A shot over the pad of Murray. And the Sabres get on the board to make it 3-1. And Robertson's goal is equalized rather quickly.
Oh, and this goal has the feel of a Buffalo comeback that we've seen in the past, doesn't it? Dylan Benoit throws it up the left wing boards. Leafs don't get it out. And this is a wrist shot from the top of the left wing circle. As Dylan Cousins made a nice kind of backhand tip pass to Peterka. And Peterka let it go from the top of the left wing circle, far side, glove side on Matt Murray. And the Sabres are back to within 2. 9th
goal of the season for Peterka. And the Sabres have it now to the line and in on the right wing with a pass in on goal. That was stopped. The deflection off Murray was a dangerous one that came out in the slot. And the Leaf defense bailed out their goaltender there. And we get an offside then at the Buffalo blue line. And with 17:13 to go in the second period, the faceoff will come in the neutral zone. Robertson from Riley and Timmins, the Toronto goal. That came at 1:53 and then at 2:22. Peterka scoring to make it 3-1.
The big save you're talking about by the Leaf defense after the rebound off Matt Murray's right pad, that was Chris Tanev. That was back and swept it into harm's way.
Thompson wins the face-off. Played back by Samuelson, who gets it returned. He'll play it up on the left wing, and it deflects down into the Toronto end. Murray playing it up on the boards. That got to Timmins, and now ahead for Tavares. Tavares to the line and in on the left wing. Dishes it off to Morgan Rielly. His centering pass went right by the blue paint and into the near corner. Leafs after it down there, trying to dig it free is Tavares. It is dug out, though, by Tag Thompson, and Thompson gets it to center, and it is flipped then by Zucker in over the line. That bounced away, and Tuck almost got to it as he tried to send it back to the point. Intercepted by Matthews to Nylander. Nylander trying to get it back now for Pacioretty, a shot, and that deflected in on goal, but it was knocked away. Interesting line here. As Pacioretty goes to the bench, maybe it was just in the midst of a change, and now Marner comes in off the wing and goes around back of the Buffalo goal. Left it there for Nyes, trying to jam it in. Couldn't. A centering pass was blocked by a skate, and the Sabres have it in the near corner. Benson just getting it out into neutral ice. Jake McCabe for Benoit. Benoit, a pass ahead. Knifed away by Matthews. Benoit taken to the boards, got his stick on the puck to play it down into Buffalo territory. And the Sabres are there as they'll get it out into the center ice area. Right wing pass into the slot, and it was just off the skate of Zach Benson. Now the Leafs counter. Here's Bobby McMahon centering, scores! Max Domi! My goodness! What a hot streak these guys are on!
And these aren't lucky bounces. This is another highly skilled play. As the Leafs, after the Sabres miss an opportunity at one end, Mitch Marner picks up the loose puck, fires it up to Bobby McMahon, who comes streaking down the right wing side. And as McMahon looks like he's going to start driving to the net, instead pulls up, spins around, and throws it back to Max Domi, who snaps it past the Buffalo goaltender, Pekka Luukkonen, to give the Leafs a 4-1 lead.
I believe this is the first time that Max Domi has scored in 3 consecutive games.
Well, James Reimer, by the way, is now taken over for Luukkonen, the Buffalo goal. But this was, I mean, what a fake. And what a pass by Bobby McMahon. And there's not a whole lot a goaltender can do on this one. But this line has been absolutely incredible.
And to think, I mean, it really was just kind of pieced together, right? Yeah. I don't know if there was rhyme or reason for it, but people were coming back. Okay, you're healthy. Let's put you 3 together and see what happens.
Like we said,
and it's unbelievable.
Robertson was a healthy scratch 3 games in a row before this line was put together. But Nick Robertson is essentially doing what he did in preseason, isn't he?
Yes, yep, absolutely. But Bobby McMahon adds the physical play. Domi certainly has added the playmaking and the scoring touch. And Nick Robertson is a trigger man. Now here's a chance for McMahon with a shot. That goes off the glove of Reimer, and Robertson almost got to it. Sabres bring it out. Gilbert comes to center. He'll launch it high. Knocked off the stick of Murray. And the Leafs with a 4-1 lead in Buffalo carry it out on the left wing. Shot in by Morgan Rielly. The puck goes around the boards and into the corner. In the near boards, battling for it was Robertson, who got it back for Timmins. He sends it back into the corner. David Camp and Pontus Holmberg on now, along with Steven Lorenz. Lorenz keeping it alive. Holmberg is tripped up in the corner. Could have been a penalty there, but none coming. And the Sabres get it up on the left wing, and Samuelson skates it into neutral ice, playing it down into the Toronto zone. Losing an edge there was Chris Tanev as he went cartwheeling in the corner, and the puck went by him. Sabres trying to keep it in. Pliston along the boards, and now Timmins trying to get it ahead. Does. David Camp circles back, and he's got it around back of the net for Tanev. Tanev starting out with it. Launched into the Buffalo zone. Reimer out of the cage. The former Leaf gets it into the corner, and a lead pass springs Zucker on the left wing. He shoots it in from the wrong side of center, but then the Sabres get in, And a pad save made by Murray. I thought that should have been icing. Sabres keep it in at the point. Darlene to the far side, and a shot goes whistling wide and deflecting up into the screen.
Boy, that looked like the Pasternak goal with Boston, didn't it, in overtime? Where it was dumped in. And the Sabres jumped on and it was Alex Tuck that walked in on Matt Murray, and Murray somehow got his right pad out.
It is 4-1 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer. Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Sabres. We're doing something a little special. Here, we do the playoffs on Toronto Sports Insider. We did all the CFL playoffs. We did all the MLB playoffs. We did all the NHL playoffs last year. We're going to do it again this year. Tonight, we're doing something special. The Indiana Hoosiers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are live right now, and we're doing all of the college football playoff games live here on TSI. So we can all have a place to hang out together and watch football and, cheer on Notre Dame for Mr. Joe Bowen. Now back to the call on the hockey game, the Leafs and the Sabres. The best call in the business, Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go! Make sure you stop by and hit that like button over on the football game as well. Cheers, everybody.
As the Leafs have it in their own zone. Nylander playing it back at the net. Timmins, lead pass off the left wing side, shoveled in by Tavares. Into the near corner, Dahlin is there. Rasmus Dahlin plays it ahead on the right side for Peterka. Peterka upended there by Tavares, but no penalty called because the Leafs have touched the puck. We couldn't see an arm up anyway. As it's played back into the center ice area, and now the Leafs chip it into the Buffalo end. Dahlin banned on a pass. Tavares against the boards trying to free it up. He did, but out of the reach of Nyes. And Bowen Byram gets it up on the wing and to the line and out. Sabres with it now. Trying to spin off a check. It goes in on the right side. Twisting and turning with it there was Quinn. He loses it. Leafs get it back and over the line. And Nylander was behind the defense, but he was a hair offside.
Boy, that was Matthew Nyes that spun and tried to find Nylander. And really what happened was Nylander, when he was trying to hold up, he ended up almost doing the splits and lost his balance and fell. So even had he managed to stay on side, the opportunity would have been negated.
Lindy Ruff's team is pretty young, 26.1.
But that's
the youngest in the league.
But his team is making Lindy Ruff a lot older.
Left wing side now for Benoit. Benoit with a sharp angle shot, went wide of the net, trapped at the near boards by Marner. His shot deflected just wide of Reimer's cage. Grabbed off by Samuelson and carried into the corner and played now back at the net for Owen Power. Power getting it ahead at center. Tag Thompson drops it off for Tuck. Tuck gets it in on the right wing side. A shot pad save made by Murray off the stick of Samuelson. Tuck getting it back to the point. Shot coming, and that went off the skate of McCabe, and the Leafs have the loose puck back in his own zone. McCabe made a pretty good split save there, didn't he?
He did. But right after, at the same time, Matt Murray went post to post and lifted the net up about 6 inches off the post before it settled down again. That's one of his trademark moves, isn't it?
Yep. Leafs get to center, and McCabe shoots it into the zone. Down the boards, chopped high to the line, settled by Robertson, but then knocked away from him. Sabres get across the line with Kulich. He drops it off. trying to play it back of the net. It comes to Gilbert. Gilbert back of the goal. Sabres get it back to the point. Walking the line, Bowen Byram. He drops it off, looking for a return pass, but it is knocked off the stick and down back of the Toronto goal. Battle ensues there. Robertson can't get to it. Domi couldn't help out. Comes back to the point. Bowen Byram to the far side, and a one-timer was blocked before it reached the net. Back to the blue line once more. Krebs walking the line, left wing side. Rasmus Dahlin, and that went off Morgan Riley's pants. Seat of pants. And the Leafs are going to get it to the line and knocked high in the air and fought for every inch to get to center and then flip it into the offensive zone. 10:42 left to play here in the period. Sabres with a lead pass at center. In on the right wing. Long shot into the glove of Murray, and he's going to hold on for a face-off coming in the Toronto zone as a result.
One of the for me, it was an odd move that the Buffalo Sabres made. They bought out Jeff Skinner. He'd signed an 8-year, $72 million deal. They bought out the last 3 years. He'd scored 92 goals in the last 3 before buying him out in the summer. And two-time 30-goal guy with the Buffalo Sabres in back-to-back seasons, but over 92 goals, and you still buy the guy out, which is a little curious, and especially what it does to your cap as well.
Leafs play it off the boards. Camp gets it down into Buffalo territory. Going back after it now. The Sabres lose it in front of the net, and Lorenz gets it back to the point in a drive. That was blocked away nicely by Reimer. Back to the goal once more. Pontus Holmberg pinned up against the wall, dug it free. He was tripped up. The puck was into the corner. Lorenz in on the forecheck. An errant pass comes into the slot, and the Sabres are back after it again. Round back of the net, long lead feed is going the length of the ice. And an icing call will come here against the Buffalo Sabres with 9:46 to go in the second period.
But a pretty good shift by the fourth line. In on the forecheck, Pontus Holmberg battling in behind the Buffalo net. And then finally getting some help from David Kemp. And Steven Lorenz was in there as well. At least almost banged in another one.
Leafs win the face-off. Riley playing it in front of the goal. Tipped by Tavares, and Reimer got a piece of that, sent it wide. Now it comes out in front of the net again, and one of the Leafs got snowballed in front of the net and knocked down.
I think that was
Pacioretty. Yeah, I agree. Here's Nylander back in over the line. Drops it up at the top of the circles into the slot, and Timmins couldn't help him out with a shot as the Sabres get it to center ice. Brought in over the line by Tavares. Right wing side, Nylander, pass in front, they score! Pacioretty! 5-1 Toronto. The road is on in Buffalo.
Tavares almost had one on a redirection earlier. But this time, the same line comes back. Tavares gets just over the Buffalo line, saucers it off the right wing boards to Willie Nylander, and Willie Nylander looking up, sees Pacioretty going to the far post, and Pacioretty tips it past James Reimer, and the Leafs now 5 goals on 16 shots. And are you comfortable in Buffalo with a 5-1 lead halfway through?
No, don't be stupid. What are you, dumb?
I was going to wait for your answer to see.
No, I am not. The little shop of horrors can rear its ugly head at any moment. Leafs to center, and Matthews chopping it in over the line. But you can certainly hear the Leaf fans chanting. Matthews coming out of the corner with it, trying to drop it back, and he'll send it down in along the board. Pacioretty gets the goal to make it 5-1. And for Max, that is his 5th of the season. And what a nice little signing that was. Matthews spins it ahead. Benoit, lead pass. Nyes will backhand deep into Buffalo territory. Reimer out of the cage, punches around the boards for Rasmus Dahlin. The Leafs' number 1 line is out on the ice. Domi along with Robertson and McMahon as the shot deflects high to the blue line and kept in by Buffalo. Back to the net for Zucker. Zucker had it knocked away by Tanev. Tanev after the puck around the boards to the far side. Ekman-Larsson trying to chip it ahead. Robertson gets a hold of it, tried to spring it up on the wing, and then it's brought in offside, I believe. Unless there's a penalty that we can't see because we can't see the referee. And nope, doesn't look like it. Max Pacioretty from Nylander and Tavares at 10:47. And it is 5-1 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Deck the home
with boughs of holly,
with a channel featuring generation after generation of country stars.
'Tis the season to be jolly,
and their heartfelt holiday sounds.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
From back then to right now.
It's officially Christmas.
What's up, Leafs fans? How we doing tonight? The Leafs and the Sabres on a Friday night. Gotta love it. Thank you for being here. Please hit that like button down below. It helps bring more hockey fans here to this awesome community. As well, please share this out on your social media, wherever, out on the hockey boards, however you can help bring more hockey fans here to this awesome community is greatly appreciated. Now let's get back to the hockey. Come on, Leafs. Big game in Buffalo. How many Leafs fans will be at the auditorium in Buffalo? I don't even know what it's called anymore, but it will always be the Aud to me because that was the original stadium. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go.
And two Conn Smythes, Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91.
And on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Mr. Ralph, you're going to have to break in a new play-by-play man on Monday. I will be taking the second period off. And young David Charles Bowen.
Any relation?
No, I have no idea who the young man is. Is going to get an opportunity in the next generation game.
Well, I'll give you some stats.
Okay.
That I have. Look, they're pretty good.
Okay.
Working with guys that was their first NHL game. John Abbott, who's in Calgary now. Dan Dunleavy, who's the voice of the Buffalo Sabres. Worked his first game. John Bartlett. National game.
There's Tavares in over the line on the left wing, trying to get a backhand away, but couldn't. And then it bounced in on goal, and it was stopped there by Reimer.
They've had a pretty good run of working with guys in their first NHL games that have gone on to a pretty impressive career.
Well, David is excited as hell. I'll tell you that. Here's a centering pass in front of the Sabres goal that was knocked aside as Holmberg was there. He's been doing the Sudbury Wolves games for the last number of years. And the next generation game will be there, and we're very much looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. Played into the Buffalo zone. David Camp gets it back to the point. This line looking to get in on the action. Shot deflects wide of the net. Camp cycles it back, but cut off by the Sabres into the corner. And now back of the net. Lorenz unable to reach it. Pinching in to keep it in was Connor Timmins. And the Sabres trying to get organized in their own end and having a difficult time. Gilbert will finally get it launched high to center ice, where it's settled down by the Leafs and played back out into neutral territory. Brought on by Gilbert again. He gets into the slot, lost the handle on it. Krebs tries to carry on for him along the near boards, playing it into the far corner with 5:55 to go in the period. Leafs get it to the line, but not out. Sabres in on the left wing. Krebs back to the point. Samuelson got a pass, then a wrist shot, knocked down in front of the goal. The Leafs continue to block a lot of shots. And now chipped to the line, but not out. Power gets a shot in on goal, and it's covered up by Murray. And now there's some shoving in front of the net. McCabe has got a hold of Dylan Cousins, dragging him to the end boards. And you can imagine the frustration of the Buffalo Sabres team.
Well, and there it was, guys just looking for a rebound, and the Leafs come barreling in to remove them from the tight line of Matt Murray. But you're right, for Buffalo, I mean, this has been a tough stretch, and the Leafs have to keep their collective skates on the Sabres' throats.
5-1 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the...
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's watching the hockey game. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I'm TSI Mike. Where the hell did I go? There I am. Finally found the webcam button. How come you haven't hit that subscribe button yet? Are you a Leafs fan? Are you a hockey fan? And you're hanging out with us, chatting it up, cheering on the Buds? How come you haven't hit that subscribe button yet? Oh, wait, you have. Appreciate it. Everybody that's hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell, thank you. I appreciate you joining this awesome community of Toronto sports fans. Now let's get back to the hockey. Come on, Buds. Let's get the victory tonight against the Sabres. We got to get this one done. Let's keep it rolling.
The situation with David doing the game with you on Monday is not without precedent. I'm old enough to remember Foster Hewitt on Young Canada Hockey Night would have his son, Bill, would come in, and he was a teenager, I think, doing the game. He would do a period or so. So I want to thank Keith Pelly, the CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. I floated the idea with him, and he thought it was a great idea. So I know that David is looking forward to working with you. And unfortunately, he has sat and listened to you, and I told him, now you're going to get jabbed by Mr. Ralph at some point. Come on now.
I will say.
I'll be disappointed if you don't.
Out of all those guys that I mentioned that I worked with in their first NHL game, they did nothing for me.
Well, I'll mention to David and see if we can't change that, all right? Puck in the Toronto zone. Dished off to Marner. He'll get it off to Tanev. Tanev circles back, now goes around back of the goal. Fed off on the wing for Timmins. Timmins drops it back for Tanev, and Tanev taking his time coming out of his own end. Marner has drifted back and is bringing it out 4-on-4 here with coincident minor penalties as Marner gets in with a rising shot that narrowly missed the head of James Reimer. Tuck dropping it back. There's 4:54 to go here in period number 2 with the Leafs leading 5-1. 5 goals on 19 shots. How was their shooting percentage the other night? Here the Sabres in. Pass into the slot. Dahlin into the crest on Murray. He lost the rebound, but the Leafs found it for him. Now Nylander with a shot that went wide. For a minute I thought it was Nick Robertson, 89 and not 88.
Might have gone in. the way things have gone.
Yeah, Willie, come on.
Oh, no, that wasn't a shot at Nylander. That was a reference to how hot Nick Robertson
Well, that was my point, too, yes. Here's Dahlin in over the line. Pass deflected away there by McMahon. Comes back to Dahlin. Left wing side. Samuelson scores! Snaps it over the shoulder of Matt Murray to make it 5-2 with 4:04 to go. Don't say a word. Not a word. Don't say it. No, you're thinking it. Don't think it.
I'm feeling it. This is where Leafs all get sort of sucked down low. Samuelson's alone at the top of the left wing circle. 4-on-4, a little more room in the ice. And he walks in and just snaps it far side over the left shoulder of Matt Murray. And the Buffalo Sabres have scored for the second time in this period. That might have actually gone off Bobby McMahon's stick. McMahon came over trying to get his stick in front of it. And a lot of times, Joe, 9 times out of 10 or maybe 95 out of 100, you'll end up getting the deflection you want.
That one didn't happen. Now here's the Leafs in with Ekman Larsson trying to play it down into the corner for Matthews. Matthews gets it back into the slot for Marner. Marner looking for a one-timer. Fed it off to Tana, who didn't deliver it. Now Matthews works to the top of the circle. Then got a shot away. It was deflected in on goal. Stopped by Reimer. There's a scramble for the loose puck. Off of the wing and now a shot. Oh, great save made by Reimer's left hand off of Matthews. The Leafs are buzzing again. Played around the boards to the far side. Kicked into the corner. Kim leaves it there for Marner, who flips it in front of the goal. Lorenz couldn't get a shot away, and the Sabres are going to get it out into neutral ice. They'll play it to the Leaf blue line and in. And now Toronto has it under control with the lead pass up on the wing for Lorenz. Lorenz to Pontus Holmberg, but he couldn't kick it up to his stick from taking the pass off his skate. 2:57 to play here in the period. Pass out into the center ice area. Holmberg gets it to the line and just over the line. Sabres are able to come away with it, and Dahlin will get it up at center. Holmberg tripped up the Buffalo player, and there's going to be a penalty here to Toronto.
Boy, this is going to be a huge power play for the Sabres.
Dahlin gets it up on the left wing. Bowen Byram dropping it back. Dahlin will try to play it off on the wing, and he does. Brought on by Peterka. Peterka gets into the zone, off his stick. It'll be touched here by Connor Timmins. And here's the penalty, and I don't know if it was intentional or not. Holmberg was going to the Leaf bench and got tangled up with one of the Sabre players. Well, he kind of dragged that right leg, and if he did, it was a really dumb penalty.
He was just trying to maybe hold Tage Thompson up, but Thompson continued forward. And kind of clicked skates. 2:17 to go here in the second period. The 5-1 lead is now 5-2.
Here you are trying to get back into the lineup, and you take a penalty like that, and no matter how you try to explain it, it ain't coming off the way the coach thinks, right?
No, and that's one of the things that the Leafs have struggled with, and that's taking penalties outside their own zone.
Yep. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Clearing attempt by Tana was blocked. McCabe gets it to the side of the net and quickly spun out and sent out and down the ice by the Leaf penalty killers. 2 minutes to play in the period. 1:45 left in power play. This is the second of the game for Buffalo. Thompson comes through center. Works to the line, stolen by Marner. Marner gingerly plays it off the near boards, and it'll slide down into Buffalo territory again. Rasmus Dahlin turns with it now. Dahlin coming out, dropping it all the way back. Tag Thompson gets it up on the right side. Bowen Byram got across, or at least, Gilbert got across the line, but the Leafs intercept the pass, and down the ice it goes again. Reimer will leave it back of the goal. Power starts out for Buffalo. Works to center. Now running out of options, but drops the puck back. Carried in over the line. The Sabres gain possession in the offensive zone. Zucker getting it back to the blue line. Near side now for Kulich, a shot. Blocker save made there by Murray. Leafs clear but not out. Cousins keeping it in with a shot that went high and wide over top of the net. Sabres with it again. Zucker in the near corner, back to the point. Long shot coming and out top of the circle. And the crease to cover up on that is Matt Murray to stop play. 36 seconds left to go in the power play. 53 seconds left in the second period. Toronto 5, Buffalo 2.
And another time after the whistle, Simon Benoit says, I'm going to push him. It was Jason Zucker standing at the side of the net after the whistle, and Benoit just to push right into the chest. Kind of like that, though, right?
Yeah. Sabres win the draw. Here's Tuck working down into the corner, dropping it back to the point. Dahlin feeds it off on the right side. 22 seconds in the power play. Centering pass, one-timer, blocked by Tanev. What a display of shot blocking that was. And it's shot out and down the ice by the Leafs.
Well, and a great play by Austin Matthews. Gets the puck behind his own net and just wires it out of the zone.
3 seconds left in the power play. Played off his skate. Leafs are back at full and even strength. Nyes comes to center, and he's going to shoot it in as the Leafs change with just 10 seconds left in the period. Sabres in their own zone with a long up that's gone the length of the ice. It'll be an icing call with 3 seconds left in the period and coming back into the Buffalo zone.
That might have been David Camp. 64, not 34. Oh, no, it was Matthews. You saw the very next time Buffalo comes back, David Camp had replaced the Leaf captain.
Samuelson's goal comes at 15:56. Power and Peterka assisting on it.
Only the 7th time this year the Leafs have hit the 5-goal mark. And in fairness, only in 2 of those games did they do it without an empty net goal. One was a 6-4 win in Winnipeg. The 6th goal was an empty netter, and the other one was 6-2 over Los Angeles at home ice early on.
Leafs number 1 line is really cooking here tonight. McMahon, Domi, and Robertson have all scored goals for the Maple Leafs again. And it's 5-2. We'll ship it off to Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every fantasy football player has a date with destiny, and this week is yours. The Fantasy Football Playoffs are here. Listen to SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio and dominate your competition with expert analysis from a fantasy perspective to help you set a winning lineup.
And he spins his way into the end zone.
Go home a champion, or just go home.
At this point of the year, I want to be invested in teams that are playing for something.
The Fantasy Football Championship, Channel 87, and on the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Sabres. We're doing something a little special. Here, we do the playoffs on Toronto Sports Insider. We did all the CFL playoffs. We did all the MLB playoffs. We did all the NHL playoffs last year. We're going to do it again this year. Tonight, we're doing something special. The Indiana Hoosiers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are live right now, and we're doing all of this college football playoff games live here on TSI. So we can all have a place to hang out together and watch football and, cheer on Notre Dame for Mr. Joe Bowen. Now back to the call on the hockey game, the Leafs and the Sabres. The best call in the business, Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go! Make sure you stop by and hit that like button over on the football game as well. Cheers, everybody.
Points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Another shot, red and black. Another chance. Game over. Bless you, boys. What a game. Do you believe this? Holy mackerel, the kid's on fire. They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy mackerel. Point taken. 2-0 Toronto.
back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up!
Game on his stick!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Hockey is on. TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
3-on-1 as Domi closes with a pass to the right wing side. They score! Bobby McMahon! Talk about a hot line. 2-on-1 for the Leafs now with Nick Robertson in. He scores! 5-hole goal on Luukkonen. And the Leafs have a 3-0 lead. And this line is on fire. Now the Leafs counter. Here's Bobby McMahon centering, scores! Max Domi! My goodness! What a hot streak these guys are on!
Oh, yes, Guy. The third line out of control, and that's a good thing. TSN After 40 Minutes is brought to you by 241 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 241pizza.com has that delicious offer for you. Jim Taddy, Anthony Stewart with you, 5-2 for the Leafs. That third line is crazy. What's going on there?
Well, they are on fire in every sense of the word. 16 points in their last 3 games. And, there were some questions on if they can do it consistently, but I think we have a legitimate third line. And we discussed many times on this broadcast about them being a bit of a vortex and not really finding any chemistry. But it just seems now it's a perfect match between McMahon, Domi, and Robertson, where they just find a way to find each other on the ice. But we also discussed at the top of the program just about Buffalo Sabres. They make 2 or 3 blaring errors every single period, and they found a way to capitalize on most of those threes. 2 of those goals were turnovers where they entered there on the O-zone, turned it over, they went back, stretched passes for 2-on-1s and goals, and then on the third one there by Pacioretty of the period, 2 guys just went on a line change, maybe trying to get a head start on shoveling some snow out there in Buffalo. So anyway you dice it, it's a good game for the third line, but everyone seems to be clicking tonight, and it's a good confidence game for most of the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. Oops, they scored. That was funny.
Oh, yeah, we got some work to do. Oh, shoot.
This game's still going. I thought this thing was over.
I thought we were in Toronto. Oh, there's no bus.
Well, look, so, you hear this line all the time about offense from defense, but that third line, I mean, every one of those goals is on the rush and the result of a turnover, isn't it?
It was. And, again, for Buffalo, I'm just shocked how they didn't really have one of their game plans being puck management. And, the one goal, I believe, on the Domi one, it was just the Robertson one, it was just a 1-on-3. The Buffalo Sabre player comes, and, you got to get that deep. You can't just lose that. And then the other one was an errant pass off a skate going back the other way. So great job on the scouting report for Toronto and finding a way that they can really be lapsed in their judgment in the neutral zone. And that bad change, oh man, if I made that change, I'd be sitting for a couple games there too. So Buffalo, again, the narrative and the storyline is they're a very talented team, but they just find ways to have the game, get away from them. And tonight is a perfect example of that, letting 3 goals in 8 minutes in that second period.
Stu, if you made that bad change, you'd be sitting on the bench in Rochester.
I know. They would just pack my bags and I start walking down the I-90 there. So it's not, it's the NHL, and we talked about it. Regardless of what your forte is or what your role is, you got to pay attention to the details on defense, and especially when you haven't won a game in 11, you got to find a way to play a perfect game against Toronto. Especially they have their fan base in there. I'm hearing it's 4-1 Leafs fans to Buffalo, and for me, I'm expecting just a little bit more fight. So there's something in the water in upstate New York there too, but. They need to find a way because that fan base, they deserve a little bit better.
I was looking at the third line goals, and it's a dead heat for best goal. All 3 of them are beauties.
Oh, yeah. I really like the Robertson goal, right? Because that's we knew that shot was coming. That's his type of shot where, he just sort of almost tricks the goalie by getting it on the ice. But, just seeing him smile on where he was compared to 2 weeks ago, sitting in the press box, waiting for his opportunity. And, that very well could have been his last opportunity to show that he is going to be a constant on this roster. So, kudos to Berube in whatever it was and finding a way to get them together. And it's the hottest line in hockey. hockey. And again, I haven't checked on the Western Conference. It's a little bit past my bedtime watching a lot of those games, but they've been consistent. They've been playing great hockey. They're pushing the pace. They have a lot of speed, and ultimately they're putting the puck in the net when they're given the opportunity.
Well, look, nothing lasts forever, but it does open up a new narrative. I mean, secondary scoring, you could easily see the effect that this would have had earlier, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and some of these guys were not in the lineup. That would have altered a lot of things.
Yeah, maybe they would just send the Leafs to the Four Nations Cup, right? Like, again, I don't know how much better as a group they could get, but it's good because it's just exciting talking about the play on the ice, and in this market, sometimes the narrative can be about, stuff that doesn't matter, contracts, controversy, guys sitting out, guys getting scratched. It's about what is going on with this group and how they're performing and what their performance is on a night-by-night basis. So it's been great to see this third line, and Max Domi just seems rejuvenated. But really great marks to Bobby McMahon for really driving the line, really having that speed and bringing it every single night. Excuse me. And it's good to see Robertson start to get on the board and really build on what he had in preseason. So he's got a second lease on life.
Yeah.
That third line's the hottest in the league, and now we're talking about a really Stanley Cup contending team. I know it's only 30 games, but the way that they're playing stingy on defense, they've only blown 2 leads the whole entire year for first in the National Hockey League. Now we knew they were a top defensive team. Now that they're getting this offense from newfound offense, it's going to be very, very tough to beat this team consistently.
And with his 4th lease on life, Matt Murray, and I know he wanted at least one of them back, but I like seeing a veteran in there just because, if things get a little dicey for him, he'll know what to do. Hildeby's got a great future, don't get me wrong, but at this point, I don't know if it's a fit.
Yeah, he's a veteran guy, and Hildeby, I think he's been thrown to the wolves a little bit too, and a lot of those shots are going through him, and that's a little bit concerning for me because you see, he's the same size as Stolarz, and I thought he'd take up a lot more net, but Murray's a veteran guy, and it's funny, it's like he's been around so long. You think he's 35, 36. He's only 30 years old. So he's got a new lease on life, as you mentioned. It's good to see that he's recovering from his hip injury, and his first start, I'll give him passing marks an A+ through 2 periods.
Stu, thanks very much. 5-2 for the Leafs over the Buffalo Sabres after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
No 2 people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos. Malcolm gets his accent right with Babbel's speech recognition.
Sur le point.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Right now, go to babbel.com/radio to get 60% off. That's BABBEL.com/radio for 60% off.
Our weekends are wall-to-wall kids hockey.
Needs a good sporting goods store.
We start early.
And a breakfast drive-thru.
It's a commitment for sure.
A financial advisor.
The whole family goes to the games.
A bigger vehicle.
Especially the tournaments.
Gas, hotels, and shopping malls.
We love to win.
Burgers for everyone.
We take turns choosing the radio station.
Family bonding. Be where anyone who needs you can meet you. Be on the radio. Your customers are already here.
This ad isn't funny or overly clever. There's no jingle, witty banter, or talk of some sort of clearance sale. Because like heart disease and stroke, which claim a life every 5 minutes, this message is deadly serious. At Heart and Stroke, we're funding and discovering medical breakthroughs to keep you and your loved ones alive. But we need all the help we can get. Go to heartandstroke.ca today. And together, we'll beat heart disease, beat stroke, and beat as one.
Why do I love getting my last-minute gifts at Shoppers Drug Mart? Well, lots of stores, many open late, great selection of gifts, and let's not forget the PC Optimum points. I get gifts for them and points for me, and so can you. Go to Shoppers. Exclusions apply.
Lately, times have been challenging, with many people facing increased interest rates, inflation, and rising credit card debt. Everyone needs a little help from time to time, but it can be hard to ask for help when it comes to your personal finances. But you're not alone. Millions of Canadians share that feeling with you. 500,000 Canadians have found help with their debt, and so can you, with Consolidated Credit Counseling Services of Canada. They are one of the largest non-profit credit counseling organizations in the country, with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They could help you consolidate your bills into one affordable payment, minimize your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. No matter how much you owe, you don't need to do this alone. To get help, call 1-800-318-1940. That's 1-800-318-1940. Let Consolidated Credit get you back to a debt-free life. Call 1-800-318-1940. Call toll-free today for a free consultation. 1-800-318-1940. Ontario license number 4705786.
A cabinet shuffle overshadowed by a deepening political crisis. This is Heather Butts. Tonight on CTV National News, the Conservatives and the NDP double down on the Liberal government. Full details tonight at 11 and at ctvnews.ca.
Down scoreboard brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. After 40 minutes in Detroit, Habs and Wings tied at 2. End of the first, Utah and Minnesota tied at 1. After 40 minutes of play, Panthers and Blues tied at 1. End of the first, Rangers 2-1 over the Stars. End of the second, Capitals 3-0 over the Canes. And getting set to start the Avs in Anaheim, and that'll go in about an hour's time. In our game, 5-2 for the Leafs over the Buffalo Sabres after 40 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy, the third period is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Tis the season to be jamming, with the channel stuffed full of holiday hip-hop and R&B from the 90s to now. Take your gift wrapping to a whole new level. Jingle Jams, one of dozens of holiday channels available anytime in the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Score!
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite SiriusXM FC shows on the all-new SiriusXM app, now available for all subscribers.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Maple Leafs with a 5-2 lead over the Buffalo Sabres. They've done it on 21 shots on goal, 14 of them coming in the second period. The Sabres have had 20, and they had 11 in the second period. But the line of Max Domi, along with Nick Robertson and Bobby McMahon, has been just absolutely electric since being put together. And it has the elements, doesn't it? You got the big guy in McMahon that can work the boards and be physical, go to the front of the net. You've got the sniper in Robertson, who is like a water bug out there at times. And then you've got Max Domi, who can be both physical and a distributor of the puck.
And now we're starting to see the shot as well from Max Domi. But I think what's really underrated with Bobby McMahon's game, Joe, is his speed. I mean, remember the goal he scored against Edmonton in the third period when he simply outraced two defensemen from his own end, went in and beat Stuart Skinner.
And how much did the Leafs miss him?
Oh, I mean, obviously you miss Nylander in the time he missed in the playoffs against Boston last year. You miss Matthews, miss Joseph Wall, especially for Game 7. But Bobby McMahon never played a playoff game and could have been huge.
Now here's Nylander coming to center. He'll shoot it in. The Leafs defending the goal to the right. Sabres to the left. Down into the corner now. Pacioretty trying to get it back to the point. Did. Oliver Ekman-Larsson rings the boards with it. Stolen back by Toronto's Tavares. In front of the net. Pacioretty stopped the big rebound. And Reimer made a couple of good saves in tight. Nylander has the puck again. Far side for Tavares. Back of the net and around the boards for Riley. Riley on the left wing. Back in for Nylander. Nylander curls out. Trying to get it back to the blue line off a skate. Going to come to center and the Leafs are going to change. Don't need to get greedy for goals. Got to play well both ends. Sabres now counterattack across the line. Dropping it back, intercepted by Toronto. And it'll be played up on the wing for Marner, and he'll chop it out at center ice. Power. Rink-wide pass. Sabres shoot it in around the board. Riley in the near corner. Prize at 3. Tripped it along the wall, but didn't get it out. Power at the point with a shot. That was blockered away by Murray, and it's played off the boards by the Leafs and out into the center ice area.
Well, there's a green light in behind the net that is still on, the one that signals the end of the period.
Okay, well, we got our clock on our screen ticking down, so
yeah, but
that isn't it. All right, and across the line for Quinn. He rolls it back into the net. Yeah, that light is on there. I don't know what's going on.
When I played, it was a different color. It was.
Yeah. It flickered. It went on and off. Yeah. I can associate with that.
Like it was killing moths.
Yeah. Sabres across the line. Left wing side. Quinn can't get a shot. Plays it around back of the net for Cousins. Cousins tries to center. Up on the wing for Domi. Domi just gets rid of it. And has it gone down the length of the ice? Yes, it has. Robertson gave chase, but unable to get there before icing is called and will be sent back into the Toronto zone. What a chance Pacioretty had.
Yeah, that was a great little setup by Willie Nylander. Just a little backhand flick through the skates of the Buffalo defenseman onto the stick of John Tavares. Now, Tavares has pretty much stopped in front of James Reimer, tried to tip it, and then tried to get his rebound back. And Nylander and Tavares are having a bit of a chuckle now, but as you see, yeah, that green light is still on, one that usually signifies the end of a period.
All right. Now, that's also the goal light, is it not? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're different in every end. We just got to look at the Buffalo end. It's not on.
No. Played around the boards. David Camp into the corner. Lorenz couldn't help him out. And Rasmus Dahlin will drop it off in the Sabres. Byron gets it up on the left wing. Into the Leaf zone and a drop pass. Nelson gets it back to the net. Poked off the stick as it comes to the near wing. Camp couldn't get a skate on it or a stick. Sabres keeping it in, but from out on the outside, now to the left wing side. Dahlin in with a shot, missed the net. Rebound, Caroms all the way out and down into Buffalo territory. Power goes back behind the net. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, or UPL, as they call him. Started the game, but didn't last.
That's back-to-back games for him, not finishing.
Puck in the Toronto zone, wedged up against the boards. I'll let you know when it comes free. Now it does. Played up on the wing. Back of the net, a centering pass. Come off the bouncing puck out at center, and Nylander is out. Nylander with Pacioretty. Off on the wing to Pacioretty. Pacioretty goes with a backhand, but a weak one was steered wide easily by Reimer. Pacioretty in the corner in the offensive zone. Centers! And that was missed by Tavares. Then a shot from the blue line. Deflected wide of the goal. And Alex Tuck will carry to center and backhand it into the Toronto end as changes come.
Boy, that was Jake McCabe that snuck in from the right point.
Tavares through neutral ice. Backhanding it high. Gobbled up there by the Sabres and played out into the center ice area. McCabe giving it off on the wing to Benoit and Marner. Played on the backhand to center. Matthews rolls it down into Buffalo territory. Reimer played it back. And intercepted then by Marner, but it is knocked off his stick and comes to center. Marner gets it to Morgan Riley, and Riley back in for Nyes. Trying to find Matthews, but off a skate in back of the net it goes. Sabres get it along the boards, and they'll play it up on the left wing, and it's brought in over the line now by Clifton. Clifton into the slot, and a good block by Morgan Riley. Leafs have done another great job of blocking shots and lead it by a score of 5-2. Sabres back, bringing it out on the left wing. Worked in now by Gilbert. And around the boards into the near corner. Trying to get there was Clifton. He couldn't. It comes back to the point, though. Fed off on the near wing. Paterka couldn't reach it. The Leafs play it ahead, and out at center, Robertson trying to give it to McMahon, but finds Oliver Ekman-Larsson in with a shot that's drilled into the chest of Reimer. And he's going to hold on and bring a face-off in the Buffalo zone. Maple Leafs, at this point, have blocked 16 shots. Connor Timmins leading the way with 4. Jake McCabe has 3. And the Sabres, they have blocked 8 shots. It's a mindset, and it is certain the Leaf team as a whole, and certainly the defense corps in particular, has certainly bought into it, haven't they? That and the fact the ice machine is getting a lot of work out after the fact. Leafs play it in on the left wing for Tavares. Looking back in front of the net for Willie. And he redirected it, but Reimer, a little deeper in the net on that occasion, took it on the chest and is able to hold on.
One thing I've liked about the Leafs games of late, when taking the lead into the third period, which, by the way, they are a perfect 16-0 when leading after 2. But even going back to the game Sunday against the Sabres at home, they outshot Buffalo 19-7 in the third period. Didn't try to sit back and protect the lead. Well, one thing that really helped the Leafs in this game was a better start on the road. Leafs
win the face-off. Riley sending it to the net, and Reimer got tangled up there. And he went right. The puck went left, but it missed the net. Sure, that would have counted anyway. I think there would have been goaltender interference called. Now the Leafs across the line for Pacioretty. Dropping for Nylander. He stops up. One hands it as he slid and fell. And now Thompson starts back for Buffalo. Tag Thompson to the line. That hit the linesman. They don't get into the zone. Leafs trying to counter, but it'll be Pacioretty just chipping it into Buffalo territory. Coming up on 7 minutes played, and this period can't go fast enough for me. I'd like to get back and see a little of my Fighting Irish of Notre Dame football game. Led currently 14-0 by the Fighting Irish. Played along the boards and into the corner. Camp dug it free. Lorenz trying to find an open man, missed. And it'll be an icing charge here against Toronto and brought back.
Now, we did have James Reimer pop into the booth when we were doing the game Sunday.
Yeah.
Wasn't drafted.
I mean, one of the nicest young men you would ever want to meet. He and his wife do a great job. They do a lot of charitable work and everything else.
Frank Berube trying to pound home a message to his team. And I mean, this is one of those games that you're going to have to stay on them. Don't get lulled into a false sense of security. Start sitting back.
Leafs get the puck along the boards, but the Sabres punch it in around back of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson sends it back into the crowd. Back to the point, it comes to Dahlin. Shot deflected wide. Near boards, Paterka couldn't come up with it. And Pontus Holmberg trying to get it out. Got a little of assistance there as he was knocked down at the blue line. Now puck played back to Buffalo's territory. Knocked up on the wing. Leafs are at home tomorrow night. The New York Islanders in town. A centering pass Good pad save and a rebound. Knocked away as well by Matt Murray. Nyes gets it down into Buffalo territory. Takes his man in against the boards. Chipped around the boards then by the Sabres to get it out. And it's backhanded by Peterka to the lead blue line. McCabe will restore it with Benoit. And McCabe taking his time in his own zone. Stretching things out, allowing Max Domi to come back in strength. He makes sure that stick is okay. Good idea. Last man back. I can't have that stick break while I make that one last outlet pass.
However, what if it broke?
Yeah. Well, then you are in trouble.
Yeah.
But at least you know it's there.
Yeah.
Here are the Sabres coming back in across the line. Got around Benoit into the corner for Malston. And then Benoit took it away from him, and the Leafs break it out. Bobby McMahon playing it in off the boards and into Buffalo territory. Robertson into the forecheck. Can't come up with it. Sabres come away with it, and out at center ice they come. Sabres in on the left wing. Send it around the boards and into the corner. Grabbed there by Lafferty, sent down into the Toronto zone, and it is going to be, or into the Buffalo zone, it's going to be an icing call.
Anyway, the Sabres, when trailing after 2 periods of play this season, are 2-13. They've not been able to string together many come from behind wins when trailing after 2. Well, like we said, I mean, we've over the years been so many odd, horrible things have happened to the Leafs in Buffalo.
Yep. And an icing call. And one of the best nights I think I've ever had broadcasting game was in Buffalo when we were there. And the Leafs turned the tables on the Sabres and came back, tied the game up, and Alex McGillney got his 1,000th point on an overtime winner by
Thomas Kaberle.
Gosh, you are good.
Marty Biron was the goalie for the Sabres.
Yes. Well, I bring that up when we see Marty here at TSN every once in a while. Just
I believe, and the Leafs were down 5-2 in the third period in that game. Came back to force overtime.
I think Owen Nolan scored a really bad goal that kind of got it going.
From below the goal line in the corner.
Yes.
Off Biron's back.
Here's Tuck with a shot. Blocked. The rebound controlled by Nylander. Fed around the boards, but the Sabres pinched to keep it in. Pumped to the near side. Cut off there. Along the wall, Zucker works to the top of the circle. Now into the corner. Ran into a traffic jam. Lost the puck. Nylander elevates it high to center. And a high stick makes contact with it with 10:21 left to play in the third period. Leafs now getting a penalty. Tavares has gone to the penalty box. Didn't see that. Well, we'll try and sort it out when we come back. Buffalo to the power play. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray. Coach Belichick, University of North Carolina. When did this come into your mind?
The way college football has evolved, it's really a lot like pro football. Players are now receiving compensation, and a lot of college coaches contact me and ask me about negotiating and so forth. And kind of the more I looked at it, the more it looked like a version of what I've been doing.
Listen to the extended version of Let's Go, now available exclusively on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Sabres. We're doing something a little special. Here, we do the playoffs on Toronto Sports Insider. We did all the CFL playoffs. We did all the MLB playoffs. We did all the NHL playoffs last year. We're going to do it again this year. Tonight, we're doing something special. The Indiana Hoosiers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are live right now, and we're doing all of this college football playoff games live here on TSI. So we can all have a place to hang out together and watch football and, cheer on Notre Dame for Mr. Joe Bowen. Now back to the call on the hockey game, the Leafs and the Sabres. The best call in the business, Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go! Make sure you stop by and hit that like button over on the football game as well. Cheers, everybody.
SiriusXM FC shows on the all-new SiriusXM app, now available for all subscribers.
have some 4-on-4 hockey as Tavares got the slashing penalty, but not until he was slashed first. And that was Jason Zucker.
I thought at first they only saw the retaliation from Tavares. That was just coming out late. Puck had already come out of the Leafs zone. And in the corner, Zucker gave the hack to the back of the leg of Tavares, who waited for Zucker to catch up with him and give it right back to him.
Here's Tuck bringing it into the Leafs zone. A pass goes off a skate and is caromed all the way down into Buffalo territory. 4-on-4 for another minute 40. And Rasmus Dahlin is back in his own zone. Dropping it off. Brought out by Tuck. Pass on the left wing is an errant one that has gone down into the... must have gone off a Leaf player because there's no icing. And now Marner has it in his own zone, playing it around back of the net for Tanev. Tanev swings it up ahead for Marner with skating room to center. Marner comes to the line and in. He's with David Camp. Works to the right wing side. Looks for Camp in front. And the pass deflected and went harmlessly wide of the Buffalo goal. Interesting combination out there. As Marner now goes to the bench. Camp remains out. Sabres are back in their own zone. Cousins skating through neutral ice, hits the line. Cousins makes a nice move, but then lost the handle on the puck. Riley forces it up the boards, but Camp can't get it out for him. Sabres keep it in. Tag Thompson playing it back on the boards. Gobbled up there by Cousins. Left wing feed. A pass into the slot area. Deflected wide of the goal. Down the boards goes Peterka. Peterka against the wall. Tied up there by Timmins. A pass into the slot area. Intercepted by Camp. And Nylander is out trying to feed it ahead as he had Oliver Ekman-Larsson breaking. All right. Back to the point. It comes in the Leaf zone. A shot blockered away nicely by Murray. Maybe his best save of the game. Played up on the wing and the Leafs get it out. Nylander in across the line on the left wing. Stops up. Looks for a man. Into the slot area and a wrist shot by McCabe. Went wide of the net and Reimer, I don't think, had any idea where that was. He just got out and seemed to get stiff as a board, hoping it was going to hit him.
He didn't really react till it hit the glass, did he?
No, he didn't. Sabres work it into the slot area. Got it in front of the goal and they score! Owen Power creeps in from the left wing and don't go away, unfortunately. It's 5-3.
Deep breath. Leafs have an opportunity at one end. And the Sabres, they just drive towards the net. And the puck goes through a couple of pairs of skates. Samuelsson, who had the 5-2 goal, and this was thrown to the front of the net, goes through a couple of pairs of skates, then off a Buffalo skate. And is that Owen Power that finished it off?
Yes, it
is. To get the Buffalo Sabres back to within 2. 8:04 to go, 5-3 Toronto.
Fifth goal of the year for Power. And a whistle right off the face-off. So they'll do it again.
You know, coming into this game, the Leafs were -2 goals for and against in the first period, -2 goals for and against in the third period, and then +16 in the second period.
Well, they have been very good at 5-on-5 thus far this season. As the Leafs get it in and Matthews plays it down into the corner. Not sure if that was a 4-on-4 goal or not. We'll have to double check. Here's Benoit carrying down into the offensive zone. Back to the point it comes. Matthews with a wrister that was deflected by Reimer into the corner. A centering pass. Matthews goes to the net. Oh, and Reimer made a great save, but a penalty is coming here to Buffalo.
That's going to be a slash, I think, and a pretty good penalty to take, as Matthews took a clever little pass from Mitch Marner. Marner was behind the net, threw it out to Matthews, cutting across the top of the crease, and before he could finish the move, got hacked and lost the puck.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall, from house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations, From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine
Cheers,
News.
insiders and hockey fans from around the world. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Sabres. Where are you watching from? Please let us know in the chat where you are watching the Leafs game here on TSI from. Is it right in downtown Toronto? Are you out in the suburbs? How about out West Ontario, Northern Ontario, out there all over Canada, the rest of the world, here in the United States, like me. Transplant fans all over the USA, England, Europe, Taiwan, all over the world. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting us know where you're watching from in the chat. I will be actually at a kids sports holiday party this evening, so I'll be in the chat as much as possible, avoiding as much human interaction as I possibly can. But gotta be a dad, so we'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight and letting us know where you're watching from. Go Leafs, go.
Terry Koshin in today's Toronto Sun had an interesting stat. 5-on-5 goals against. Leafs have allowed 46. So that translates over an 82-game season, 118. The last 3 years under Sheldon Keefe, 168, 142, and 182. So the big difference is how they have defended 5-on-5. Now, they've given up 2 goals to the Sabres 5-on-5 tonight, but overall, it's quite a difference.
Yeah, we could use the eye test on that too, couldn't we?
Oh, yeah. Brought in over the line now by the Sabres. Shot deflected wide by Murray. Leafs on the power play.
And it would be nice to restore that 3-goal lead here for a little bit of breathing room.
Morgan Riley starting out of his own zone. Gonna carry the center, played off on the right wing. Tavares drops for Nylander. Nylander brings it into the zone, off Tavares to Matthews. Matthews trying to chip it along the boards. Tavares got it into the corner, but the Sabres intercept, and they're going to send it out and down the ice. Murray plays off onto Riley's stick. 6:38 to play here in the third period. Brought on now by Marner. Nice play to get it to the center. He works to the line and in. Works to the right wing board. Send it off to Willie on the near boards. Nylander trying to restore it. It goes to Matthews. Back to Marner. Shot deflected wide of the goal. Matthews after it in the far corner. Stolen back. Cleared to the line. Nylander standing there. Had it in him right in the chest. Kept in by Toronto. Marner down low to Matthews. Coming out in front. And down is Reimer to cover up on it. And Gilbert gave Matthews a pretty good shove, and then Tavares comes in and tries to...
Matthews doesn't seem
too perturbed by it.
Well, too impressed by it either. He's still down on one knee and behind James Reimer. 40 seconds left in the Leaf power play. And look at the... I don't even know if you want to call them the second. You almost think that Craig Berube should just throw out the Domi line.
Well, exactly.
And I don't mean that to be kind of a smart-ass comment either.
Yes,
I mean, they've been so good.
They're so hot. Exactly. Yep.
I mean, we'll get a variation of them. I'm sure Matthew Nyes will be on the second unit as well. Max Pacioretty. Yep.
Domi is out there, and the Leafs going with a couple of defensemen as Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it to Timmins, and his one-timer was partially blocked. Nyes in the corner, can't come up with it. Run around the boards, it's going to come to center, and Domi has to go back to settle it down. Oliver Ekman-Larsson in his own zone. Looking up ice, gets it ahead for Timmins. Timmins at the blue line, just shoots it in. Round the boards, it'll be played off a skate, and the Sabres trying to counter, bring it out at center ice with McLeod. He drops it back into the slot, and a wrist shot went just wide of the goal. Don't look at me like that. Played out into the center ice area, down into the Buffalo end. Penalty is over. 5:26 to go, third period. Sabres through center. Miss a hit, but the puck off a stick. And it is Benoit just launching it high into neutral ice back to the Buffalo blue line. Sabres counter attack now, and Tag Thompson gave the puck away against the boards to David Camp. Played into the corner for Bobby McMahon. Robertson couldn't get to it, and the pass goes off a skate and comes to the Toronto blue line. Thompson trying to get it into the zone, couldn't. Camp comes back in over the line with Robertson. Camp to McMahon, going top shelf short side, and he had some room there, but he just missed. It comes all the way back into the Toronto end. Ekman Larsson with 4:40 to play in the third period. Getting it ahead at center, and now shot into the Buffalo end of the rink. Around the boards, it'll be pushed to the line, and the Sabres will bring it back into neutral ice and in on the left wing with a long shot, blocked away there by Murray. We'll have to keep an eye to see if Lindy Ruff decides to pull the goaltender, Reimer, fairly early down a pair. And really, what have you got to lose if you're the Sabres? Played high to the Buffalo blue line and into the zone. Sabres go back to recover the loose puck. Played up on the back of the net, and Buffalo will organize as they wait to get teammates exchanged, and they have the puck back of the goal. Played out at center to the blue line. Nylander almost stole it, but it comes in over the line. Timmins trying to dig it free, but couldn't. Sabres get it out into the slot area. Unable to send a backhand was Owen Power, but then a wrist shot deflected off a Toronto body and went wide. Power has it back at the blue line. Left wing side, back to Power. Shot, scores! And the Sabres are within one.
One-timer from fairly long range as Power just lets it go from the right point. Left-handed shooting defenseman. A little bit of traffic flying by in front, but Matt Murray never really seemed to pick it up. And that actually, Joe, might have hit a Leaf stick. But the Sabres 5-1 has gone to 5-4. The Leafs going to challenge this.
And they are...
And I don't know what the challenge would be, whether it was offside coming into the zone. But Craig Berube sort of nodded towards the official. And I think we got a challenge.
Toronto is challenging the call of the ice to determine if there was goaltender interference prior to the scoring of the goal.
Boy, this is gutsy. Oh, boy, is this gutsy. You lose the challenge. And not only is it 5-4, but the Sabres would go into the power play. There was a flyby in front of Matt Murray. I haven't seen anything.
Well off the angle.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's because of the contact or not. But
boy, you've got to be
really sure here.
100% sure here.
Well, the Leafs have been pretty good at this over the years. And our friend in the video room,
Jordan Bean, is Cam Kim. They've both done an outstanding job. And we have still not seen a replay.
No.
The officials have seen about 8 of them. We're still waiting. There we go.
There it is. All right.
Or they're saying, okay, I don't know. They just showed us the entry into the zone, but it wasn't. All right. We apologize.
Yeah.
Here we're going to see it. Oh, okay. Now the skate does kick the stick of Murray. Is that enough to turn it over? So as Murray's going to his left, Buffalo player in front of him is cutting across to Murray's right.
Is it Lafferty? I'm not sure.
And he does make contact with the stick of Murray.
Yep. And the shot comes, and where that stick should have been is where the puck goes in. And it was...
And you know what? He's not being pushed. He goes in on his own.
Yep. And it was Sam Lafferty. And here's the call.
After review, there was goaltender interference.
Wow. Wow. I mean, you could see it being called back, but you could also see them saying, hey, it was from long range. It was just stick on skate.
Jordan Bean, Sam Kim, you've done your work. You've done a great job there.
But that's still up to Craig Berube to say, okay, let's pull the trigger on this.
Yep. So the Leafs still lead 5-3. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hear that? Holiday spirit is soaring on the SiriusXM app. With exclusive seasonal specials from Jimmy Fallon.
Thank you so much for listening. I love this time of year.
Christmas Queen, Mariah Carey. Every Monday, deck the halls with a little bit of me. Pentatonics and more. That's Christmas too. Plus over 20 pop-up holiday channels full of endless cheer. Just search Holiday to feel the joy on the SiriusXM app.
24/7 Hockey Talk.
Hey, Leafs fans, hockey fans, insiders, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Sabres on a Friday night. Now, we're doing something really special here. You know that we have a partnership with SickKids Hospital, and it's been too long since the MLB playoffs, since that Create 100K had ended at like the end of November. So we're going to kick something back up. I got a great idea today when I saw Joe Bowen's post about the college football game tonight, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He's a big fan, and I just wanted to make all of the viewers happy who sent me an email or a direct message or texted in the chat during the game. Are you doing the college football playoffs? We're doing it, and we need to come up with a name for our campaign. I kind of like Football Frenzy. SickKids Campaign Football Frenzy. I like it. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Now let's go Leafs. Let's get some goals out there, and let's get the W in Buffalo tonight.
91.
Sam Lafferty is adjudicated as interfering with Murray, and the goal disallowed. And the Leafs have the puck in their own zone. Panu got it ahead, and it's deflected down into Buffalo territory with 3:16 to go, and Reimer is still in the net. Back of the goal is Bowen Byram as it comes up on the left wing. Sabres send it in. It goes, apparently didn't touch anybody, and an icing call is the end result. It'll come back into Buffalo territory.
Out of town scoreboard, Florida Panthers and St. Louis Blues look to be headed to overtime, 1-1 in Florida. The New York Rangers holding on to a 2-1 lead in Dallas midway through the second.
28 shots apiece, but the Leafs have 5 and the Sabres have 3. Draw one by Buffalo. Played back of the net. Byram gets it up on the wing. Brought to the Leaf blue line and launched in, but knocked out of the air. And the Leafs get it back at center. Nyes gets to the red line and rolls it right back down into Buffalo territory.
Boy, lucky for Buffalo that James Reimer didn't head to the bench early.
Now brought out at center ice now by Kulich. Got it into the Toronto zone. Knocked back towards the blue line. Trapped there and kept in by Owen Power. Power to the near side. Dahlin with a shot in traffic. That deflected wide of the net. Leafs taking a look. Reimer is still in the net, as far as we can tell, with 2:26 to go. Sabres send it around the boards and into the near corner. It came off to Stanchion at a strange angle. And now it's grabbed off by Benoit, who'll get it ahead for Marner, who redirects it out at center. Reimer apparently still in the net. Played to the line. Now he's gone to the bench. We see him getting there. So an extra attacker on for Buffalo. Stolen by Marner, but he couldn't get it ahead. Kept in by Tuck, a shot that goes high and wide with 2 minutes left. Back to the point, Dahlin, and he drifted that one off a leg and went wide. Kept in by Buffalo. Another shot by Dahlin blocked in front of the net. Near boards now for Peterka. Down into the corner. Fed around the wall to the far side for Thompson. Thompson back to the blue line for Dahlin. Dahlin to Peterka. He lost a handle on it. Hammered off the boards by the Leafs, and it's gone out and down the ice. And an icing call here against Toronto. With 1:35 to go here in the third period. The Leafs up by a pair, trying to hang on to a win in Buffalo that is never a safe spot to even think a 2-goal lead is home and cooled out.
Well, 4-goal lead. It was 5-1. And I asked you, how comfortable are you with a 5-1 Leaf lead in Buffalo halfway through the game?
And I replied,
not very.
Not very, no.
And here we are, 5-3 with a goalie pulled late.
Draw won by Toronto. Played off the boards, but not out. A pass to the left wing side. Gets into the corner now for Zucker. Zucker gets it along the boards. Leafs are trying to get it out with Pacioretty on the wall. Can't do it. Backhanded in around the boards by Cousin. Back of the net, the Sabres control. Zucker loses it. Marner ahead to Pacioretty with an empty net. Missed the net. And it's going to be an icing call. He had another stride to get to center. He's thinking that he did get to center, but there was no way he did.
No, he was in a bit of a hurry. Took the nice pass. And the other thing is, Joe, he had a lot of room down the left wing side. He could have just lugged that even more towards the Buffalo zone, but I think probably thought, I got a shot at the empty net now, and I'm going to take it. But 1:09 to go, and a big face-off in the Leaf zone. Austin Matthews forced to stay out with Mitch Marner and Pacioretty because of the icing.
And the draw won by the Leafs. Benoit takes the puck to the boards and is hoping to pin it there as long as he can. He's got his skate wedged up against the wall. The puck is finally dug free. Marner trying to tip it and gets it out at center ice as he dives. Leafs get a change of players. Brought out now by Buffalo to the near wing. Shot in by Dennis Gilbert. Round the boards, it'll get to McCabe. McCabe got it to the winger. Leafs get it out and roll it down into Buffalo territory with 39 seconds left to go. Sabres are back after the loose puck. They'll get to the Toronto blue line and in. Round the boards, it's fed there by Krebs to the far wing. Leafs unable to get it ahead to Nylander. Now they get it to Tavares, to Nylander. Empty net. He scores. And the Leafs will put this one away and put it to bed with a 6-3 lead. And Willie Nylander has found the empty net again.
Finish things off in Dallas. John Tavares had a couple of empty netters on his 2 hat tricks in Winnipeg and home to Buffalo on Sunday. And, you know, Tavares, this is an unselfish play. Tavares could have fired it from center. Instead, looks up, shuffles it over to the left wing side to Nylander crossing the Buffalo blue line. And he'll snap it into the empty cage. I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable.
Good. There's only 19 seconds left. It could be gas. So the Leafs are going to win back-to-back games on the road for the first time this season. They will also pick up their 44th point and make sure that they're going to be atop of the Atlantic Division as the horn goes to end the game. The Leafs win it by a score of 6-3. I'm going to give it the big hurry up here, if you don't mind, Mr. Ralph.
Well, Joe,
no, we don't have time for anything that you need. We're going to have Jim Taddy along with Anthony Stewart and Mr. Taddy.
Another thing.
No, it's quite all right. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Dashing through the field on Channel 88. Catch the Sunday Drive. Playoffs on the way.
This is Steve Torrey. Happy holidays. As you wrap the presents, make sure you join Bill Leckus and me for the Sunday Drive at noon Eastern for live listen-ins, guests, fantasy analysis, and playoff scenarios around the National Football League.
Touchdown!
It's the Sunday Drive on NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Sirius XM app.
Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
What the heck? All right, I'll be there in a minute. What's up, Insiders? How we doing tonight? What a game. The Leafs get it done. 6-3. We got the empty netter. I just pulled in the driveway. when we got the empty netter, apparently because I didn't have the game going. Wow. There you go, Zoran, what's up? Everybody head on over to the football stream. It's halftime. People are probably dropping like crazy. We had 5,000 people in the chat there right before the half, and TSI Allison is throwing it down. So please go help TSI Allison in the chat and take care of Mile. Mile High's being special over there in the football stream. But man, what a night. Great to see everybody tonight. Brandy Gale, thank you for the support. Man, what unbelievable support tonight we have had. I got to pull the all of the super chats up. My God, what a evening we had with the super chat. I can't thank you guys enough. The amount of support that you guys have shown this community just by being here, just by hitting the like button, just by sharing this link out. You guys are making a huge difference for this community as well as for, what is this at? Tell us more. No, I don't want to tell you more. There you go. So we got Rick Smith in the house, $5 super chat. Merry Christmas. Toronto Maple Leafs true loyal Canadian heart. The beer is for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pierre LaBelle, Gold Leafs, a member for 1 month. Toronto Maple Leafs loyal, true Canadian heart. Mark Duffney with a super chat. Rick Smith sent his insider member chat there as well. So did I, actually, when I was chatting in the volleyball party. Andrew Hurd gifted the membership, and there's Brandy's super chat. I forgot to give it a like. That like is done. So, or the heart. There you go. Pike's Wrath as well. What's up, Pike? How you doing, my man? So great to see you. Lots of fun here in the chat. Cheers to Don. I still have this empty Coke can that I had earlier. It's time for a drink. I need a drink. We're going to watch the second half of the football game as well. I will let the post-game run over here, and then we'll send you over to possibly the football game. I don't know yet. We'll see. Go Leafs, go. Thank you for hanging out with us, everybody. Cheers. So much fun. Big win. Mark Daigle, good to see you, my man. Cheers. Andrew Hurd, Brad Smith, Tony Polidoro, Hazard County. What's up, Hazard? Good to see you. Mr. Robato, Johan, love it. All the OGs in the chat tonight. We'll see you guys real soon. Go Leafs, go. Big win.
0 goals for the first little bit of the season. He's now up to 3 on the season. You saw the same thing with Nick Robertson, who now has 3 goals and 6 points in his last 3 games. And McMahon, coming back from injury, has hit the ground running. So just collectively, it's like feel-good stories. And, you want to see them all be successful just based on the adversity that they've dealt with the last, for Robertson, a couple of years as well, too. And, Domi bleeds blue and white. So it's great to see the player, but most importantly, the person as well.
On the other side of the rink, the Buffalo Sabres continue to struggle. That's 12 without a win. They had 2 goals taken away from them tonight, and you have to have some sympathy for what they're going through.
Yeah, I do, but unless the paychecks stop coming in tomorrow, it's going to be tough to really feel sorry for this group. Right. I think the direct deposits. Yeah, so I think if that was the case, I think they'd have a little bit of effort. But this is the youngest team in the National Hockey League, and they do have some veteran guys, but most of their star players are 23, 24 years old. So it takes a while to get used to the daily regimens of what it's like to be a pro, and they have tremendous talent in some of these young players, but it takes a while, right? You've got the Dahleens, the Powers, and Bowen Byrams, and some of these other guys, Jack Quinn and Zach Benson. So these guys got to learn, when you have a lead or you have some momentum, you have to find a way to stay with the game. But most likely, most of what's happened in those last 10, 12 games, 5 games have been like tonight, where they just find a way to give pucks over, penalties at uncostly times, double minors, blowing leads, and that's just why, they're creating a lot of their own problems. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. You saw Lindsey Ruff try to get some bulletin board material against his own team saying, we're trying to take the crowd out of it. I'm sure some management's not too happy with that. But for Buffalo, yes, you can feel sorry for them. And when I was in this situation as a third line, fourth line guy, I'm like, here's my opportunity to play my way up the lineup, play my way off the island, play my way onto this roster, and be an everyday NHL player.
God, how do you insulate yourself from the mood that is just down?
Well, the weather's not helping, right? It'll be a lot better if you have some palm trees walking into the rink. But Buffalo could be a gloomy place, and when you're losing, it just sort of compounds the mood there. But when I was going through some slumps, I had the Olli Jokinens, I had the Eric Stahls, I had the Andrew Laz to sort of take us out of the funk. And their captain is Dahlin, who's he's been around, but not saying he's not a leader, but you need some veteran leadership guys that can come in and really right the storm. So maybe the goalie's got to stand on their heads. UPL was playing some good hockey before tonight, but somebody's got to do something, because 12 can turn into 15, and we could talk about them being out of the playoff picture probably already, but by January 1st, which is unacceptable for this Buffalo group on where they're supposed to be at this point of their development as a group.
So the Leafs win 3 games in a row, 5-3, 5-3, and 6-3. Are you at all concerned that they're allowing 3 goals on a nightly basis?
3 is better than 4, right? And a couple of them are garbage time goals. A couple of them are garbage time goals. And, I was concerned about that late one by Point that got called back on the goalie interference. And, I'm sure Craig Berube wants them to clamp down a little bit. But they've only blown 2 leads the whole entire year, first in the National Hockey League. So, you got to take, I guess, the good with some of the bad. But, in some of those games where they've been letting in these goals, has the game really felt like it's getting out of reach, or, oh no, here they come again, they're probably going to get the momentum, take it, and now take over the game? That hasn't really been the case the whole entire season. They've had some bad starts, they've been playing catch-up, but when they have the lead, they find a way to close out games. And if I'm Craig Berube and co., I'm happy with the results. Right now it's about collecting points, and they've been doing that.
The one similar thing between this year's Leafs and the past editions of the Leafs is in these 3 games, they needed multiple goals in a short period of time to blow the game open. Now, that's not a criticism, and I think it's different than how they would have done it in the past, but they do need the offense.
They do. And, we talk about them developing that killer instinct, and, in that second period, they found a way to do that. And that's the second period. They've been one of the best second period teams in the whole entire league. And, it's not just one guy, and I know the one line is stepping up, they have chemistry, but, you saw Nylander score 1 in the empty net here. You saw Austin Matthews score 1 in the second period to make it 2-0 on the power play. When's the last time you've seen the power play, sort of put the game out of reach or put them ahead where the team now has to play bigger catch-up? So, scoring in bunches, it's a trend right now, and I'm sure they welcome that. And, they'll take the wins any way they can. It wasn't a masterpiece tonight, but if I'm going through that video, yes, there's some D-zone breakdowns. You're not boxing out. You don't have sticks and lanes. A couple turnovers in and around the blue line. But this is a game against a Buffalo Sabres team that is desperate. They're going to cheat at times, and I think they got lucky in a couple of those goals. So you're not really going to break down the film and try to find a lot of problems, because on the grand scheme of things, I don't think there is many in this game.
Leafs win at 6-3 over the Buffalo Sabres. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
This holiday season, you have the power to make a meaningful difference in your community. Support Trillium Health Partners, and when you donate, your gift will be matched, doubling your impact at your local hospital and allowing countless patients to get a fresh, healthy start to their new year. Together, we can ensure that everyone receives the care they need to thrive. Visit trilliumgiving.ca to donate now and create lasting change that will extend well beyond the holidays.
Discover more value this holiday at Loblaws. From now until December 24th, get cap-off rib roast for only $8.88 a pound. And get 400 grams of select Black Diamond cheese bars for only $4.88. Shop in-store or online today. Conditions apply. See flyer for details.
Touchdown. Great catch. Give me a high five. 5 minutes later. Interception. Awesome play. Give me a high five. 2 hours later.
Eddie, did you order 20 high five specials from 2-for-1 Pizza?
You kept asking for high fives.
I meant... never mind. I'm hungry.
High five. Buy any large traditional pizza and get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each.
2-for-1 Pizza. 2-for-1. TSN and TSN Plus take you courtside, showcasing the NBA's biggest stars.
Bang! Steph Curry! Oh, blocked by James!
From opening tip through the NBA Finals.
Anything's possible.
The NBA lives on TSN and TSN Plus.
Leafs Game Night, they win 6-3 in Buffalo, come back home to play the Islanders tomorrow night. and then get Winnipeg at home on Monday, and then it is the festive break, and then next Friday they're in Detroit, and then at home to Washington. So that's a long way off at this particular point because a lot of stuff happens in the next week or so. So 6-3 was the final score tonight. The night started with Matt Murray being the storyline. He gets the win, and he stops 25-28. Looked pretty good in there.
Yeah, he looked pretty good for his first game in almost 2 years in April, right? And missing a whole entire season. And he's really, bided his time fairly well going down into the minors. He did have some minor injuries and having a decent record down there and making the most of his opportunity. And he did sign in the offseason for a cap hit sub $1 million. And, he's a guy now that can now push some other guys in case there are some injuries. So I think for him, he's got a lot to play for, whether it's with Toronto or potentially another team. There's some other teams that are struggling in the goaltending department that may need goaltending, and he wants to prove that he's a worthy choice. So great first game. He probably wants maybe one of those back. But again, for him, it was just about staying healthy. He passed the eye test. He didn't look rusty. He didn't look like he was swimming in the crease. He looked calm, cool, collected. He wasn't making any unnecessary movements, made a couple big saves in the second and third period. But ultimately, he found a way to get the win. That's a good first step coming back after all these months on the shelf.
And like so many issues for the Leafs this year, they dodge a bullet and it turns into a positive. I can't recall. I mean, there's so many stories that have gone that way for this team through all the injuries. It always seems to push forward in a positive fashion. That's certainly noteworthy, isn't it?
It is. It's a very resilient group. And, I think in years past we were talking about Toronto playing catch up. And, how many games last year where they're pulling the goaltender with 5-6 minutes left or 4 minutes trying to get back into a game. And, the top stars are getting tired, but they just find a way to cruise to victory and get everybody involved. This is not a team of the big four. When's the last time you heard the big four? I haven't heard that now since I just mentioned it in about probably 2-3 months, right? So, the defense, the unsung heroes of the group, McCabe, Tanev, OEL, and you're seeing Timmins step up as well, and Riley's playing great hockey, and Benoit was getting involved physically. Like, this is a good collective of defense. The goaltending's been consistent, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 standing in there, and the Stars are stepping up and scoring goals at the great time. And ultimately now they have a third line they can say has arrived. They're going to be a constant. They've been playing great, great momentum, great chemistry, and it's fun to watch. This is a fun group to watch on the offensive side of the puck while cleaning up the defensive deficiencies. And they're a top 5-6 team in the league on the D zone, in the D zone, and the defensive side of the puck as well.
Leafs win 6-3 in Buffalo. This is Leafs Game Night at TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app of the Leafs Radio Network.
Tiger is back!
Tiger Woods is returning to the golf course with his son Charlie in the PNC Championship.
The Eagle has landed! A big fist pump for the big Tiger!
Hear all the coverage right now on PGA Tour Radio.
His golf swing, in my opinion, is as good as it's ever been. I've never seen it cleaner. I've never seen it easier on his body, ever.
Your home for golf is PGA Tour Radio. Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on SiriusXM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it, there's a chance, rebound, Caulfield, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favorite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Leafs game night, they win 6-3 in Buffalo over the Buffalo Sabres, of course. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you for the next few minutes to wrap up this victory. And Stu, because this is our last game before Christmas, what do you want to give the Leafs for Christmas?
I want to give them some health and some days off to rest, have a little bit of R&R and reset, right? Because, I think this is a group now where you don't want the highs to be too high and the lows to be too lows, and they've dealt with a lot of adversity. So those couple days off, I think this R&R is going to be great for them. And, for me, a little bit more R&R for Austin Matthews. And you saw him get a couple bumps today on purpose, and he was wincing a little bit in pain. So a couple ice baths for Austin Matthews as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that. A nice package of good health and an extra dose for Austin Matthews. I mean, there's something just not right there. You can see it, not necessarily on a nightly basis, but from time to time. We do have some post-game sound. Post-game sound is brought to you by Honda. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. Here's Matt Murray assessing his own performance.
Miscues in the second. Other than that, felt pretty solid throughout. And like I said, we played extremely well. For me, I think the first period was the difference maker in the game. I think the team had a great first period, so thankful to get the win.
What did it take away from you before 2 goals was allowed? And rightly so. What do you think of that?
I think you answered it right there. I thought the one he clipped my stick. I had no chance. So I was definitely hoping that they were going to make the right call. I think they did.
Anything a teammate said to you there after the buzzer that really stood out to you?
Just you could tell that they all were really wishing well for me, and they were all super happy for me. We're saying that in the line after the game, and Domes gave me the game puck, which meant a lot. And just the amount that they were cheering for me,
This morning, Craig said the fire still burns. Some people would wonder, after all you've been through, why does it still burn inside?
It's just me, I guess. I don't know. I think I took it as a challenge, and it was a long road, big mountain to climb. But like I said, I kept this moment in front of my mind on those days where it felt tough. And again, I had people around me to keep me focused. So wouldn't be here without them.
Matt Murray with his own assessment of his performance. I think this is a real boost, not only for him, but for the team to have a veteran goalie to rely on, just because, as I've said many times, Stu, this is not a developing player situation. This is a now thing.
Yeah, it's a veteran player. And, just think about it. I always reference the past, and excuse me for doing so too, but remember when one goaltender went down, it's like, what are they going to do? Is Christmas coming again in, March or November? Is it coming early? What are they going to do? But, there's been now, Wall's been injured, Stolarz has been injured, and it's not really changing the overall, function of this team. And yes, you want to have quality goaltending, but I think the system has gotten them through that. And I think that's sort of been the underrated element to this group this year. Top 5 in goals against, and they have been getting some quality outings, but again, a lot of that credit goes to the system, towards the penalty kill and towards the play of the defense. So, if I'm Craig Berube, I'm really, really pleased, but it adds in a little extra swagger, and a little extra confidence, and a little extra, hey, you know what? The sky's not falling, because you have 3-4 out of 4 goaltenders that can step in on any given night, and they're probably going to have the edge on the other goaltender, which gives you now a better chance of winning the game.
Stu, thanks very much, and look forward to working with you on the World Juniors.
I will see you soon, Tats.
Yeah, absolutely, you will. Thank you very much. And, of course, the Leafs winning 6-3. Our next Leaf broadcast will be in a week's time as we devote some time to the World Juniors. Stu and I will be joined by Brendan Bell, the former Leaf defenseman, and AJ Jakovic out of our TSN radio station 1200 in Ottawa. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to NHL.
The Kid's on fire. They're going to the second round.
TSI, and let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up!
Get him on his stick!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
What's up, insiders? What does it feel like to lose a Game 7? Got to turn that down a little bit. There you go, Mr. Hockey. What's up? He's up on the screen. Mr. Hockey, thank you for commenting on the polls and the videos and all that. Really appreciate you guys commenting on that stuff. It really helps the channel grow. Really saw a big push when we started doing some of those polls, so I appreciate that. Mr. Hockey, cheers. Liz Soares, hey, 3-game win streak. Let's go, Buds. Hey, let's go. All right, Todd Squires. Zoran, you suck. Why are you being so angry, Todd? Zoran don't suck, I don't think. Zoran, how you doing, Zoran? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And Andrew Hurd, my man, appreciate the super chat and the actually not super chat. I think it was a gift of a membership, which is awesome, man. I love that because then people get to use those awesome emojis. All right, the post game is over. Yeah, babe. Oh, I thought she was talking to me. She's not. The football game is blowing up. We are going to send all of you guys over to the football game right now as the post game is now over. And then, yeah, there we go. Ryan Watson. Cheers, Ryan. Thank you for hanging out with us. And all right, good night here. We got 800 people left here. We're going to send it to the football game. And 1,318 likes. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up button. Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's sleeping right now. We're going to send you over to the football game. Then after that, we're probably going to send you over to lunch hour with Guff over on the recap. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game tomorrow night. Let's go, Buds. Hockey night in Canada. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody. Wait. Somebody's here. Oh, my God. Don't die.
Never mind.
She came in like a wrecking ball. Would you like a microphone, babe?
No.
Oh, she doesn't want the microphone. Okay.
I just came to say hi.
Well, hi, babe.
But now I'm leaving. If I don't die.
Yeah, don't die. All right. Good night, everybody.
You can come play with me in football because if that one guy asks one more time why he can't see it, I'm going to...
People struggle with that. They do. They really struggle with 3,200 people in a chat room with an audio feed and not TV feed.
Do you know why I don't have a cup?
I don't either. Can we fix that?
We don't have a kitchen.
Well, I don't need anything but the scotch.
Oh, you want scotch?
Yes, please. Love you, babe. Love you too. All right. Sending you guys to the football game. Good night, everybody. Great night here on TSI. Thank you.
9:29, Canadians on Internet, 9:34. 7 p.m., Washington Capitals face the Carolina Hurricanes. Capitals on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 950. Hurricanes on Internet, 924. 7 p.m., Florida Panthers face the St. Louis Blues. Panthers on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 931. Blues on Internet, 944.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is SiriusXM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. SiriusXM NBA Radio. SiriusXM 86.
Hockey Hall of Famer and Stanley Cup champion for the Edmonton Oilers and New York Rangers, Mark Messier joined Scott Laughlin on the morning skate for SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on Channel 91 to discuss the pressures of Game 7 after having played in 9 Game 7s himself, winning 7 of them, and how you can either thrive under pressure or crumble underneath it.
I almost look at Game 7s, Mark, like I do overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs or overtime in any sporting event where you've got so much pressure on you and every play gets magnified. Could you, during the course of your career, and you don't have to name names, but could you look around the dressing room or could you look on the opposing bench and could you figure out those that wanted to be the hero and those that just wanted to avoid making the mistake? I mean, was that plain for you to see that there were those that wanted the puck on their stick with the game on the line that could thrive under pressure And then you had the opposite as well.
I felt myself in those moments there defaulting to the more defensive side of the game. And then I played with my right winger, who I won 6 Stanley Cups with, Glenn Anderson. He was the kind of guy that was trying to, really drive hard offensively and take the game and try to score the winning goal. And we're on the same line.